beautiful Saturday night in Southern California, and the Warriors of Bellator MMA are bringing the heat emanating from the Kia Forum. In the suburb of Los Angeles, Inglewood, we are set for an historic evening. Bellator 290, the main event, the final fight for the fabled Fedor Emelianenko, who looks to make history as he tries to retire as the oldest champion in MMA history at the age of 46. But it's Ryan Bader who's the champion. Ryan Bader, who won the vacant title in just 35 seconds when he stopped Fedor here at this venue 4 years ago. So that's coming up, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 Pacific. Bellator MMA on CBS. Also coming up tonight on the main card, Johnny Eblen makes the first defense of his middleweight crown, and he will take on Fedor team's Anatoly Tokov, who's ranked number 3. He is 7-0 in the Bellator cage. And on the network that brought you the mega hit Big Bang Theory, we are guaranteed to begin things with a big bang. Number 8, Sabah Homasi. He battles Brennan Ward in a welterweight war to kick things off. That's all coming up later tonight. But hey, the prelims are going to be popping like corn and bottles. Speaking of Fedor team, we've got Nikita Mikhailov. He is trying to bounce back from a loss to Enrique Barzola, and he will take on Darion Caldwell, the former Bellator 135-pound champion, who is looking to snap the longest losing streak of his career. He's lost 3 in a row, John, and let's take a look at the numbers for this, the first fight of the night, the tail of the tape.
Look, the big thing on this, Darion Caldwell's got the wrestling to keep this thing where he wants it to be, and it's with a 73 to 70-inch reach advantage. He wants to keep it standing and do damage.
With the official introductions, here is Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the Kia Forum here in Inglewood, California, as we get set to kick off 2023 here at Bellator with event number 290. The prelims will get underway now. Inside the cage, we go 3 5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. Introducing the blue corner first. At 5'8", weighing in 135.4 pounds, his professional record 9 wins, 2 losses, presenting Nikita Mikhailov. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner. At 5'10", weighing in 135.8 pounds as a professional. 15 victories, 6 defeats. Introducing the former Bellator Bantamweight World Champion, Darion "The Wolf" Caldwell. In charge of the action, your referee, Rafael Davis.
All right, are you ready? All right, are you ready? Here we go. Fight! First round.
Both fighters looking to bounce back from losses at the hands of Enrique Barzola. We have Mikhailov representing Fedor team, and in Caldwell, he began his MMA training years ago in Arizona with the likes of current heavyweight champion Ryan Bader.
He did, and you know, coming off an NC2A Division I championship at North Carolina State, he is an incredible athlete, but it's maintaining the fight. Beautiful knee by Caldwell.
Caught by Mikhailov.
Hey, you take charge here?
But he's so good at using his wrestling, but he needs to be able to control his up and down as far as how much energy he puts out. It's the fact that he gets tired at times that leads him down a bad path. He needs to be the guy in control of this fight.
Caldwell now fighting out of Killcliff FC under the tutelage of Henry Hooft, Greg Jones, and Jason Strout. Mikhailov looking to begin the evening on a successful note for Fedor team, well represented on this historic card, as both Fedor Emelianenko and Anatoly Tokov will be vying for Bellator MMA championships on the main card. Looking for that lateral drop, and now has the back, does Caldwell.
That was a beautiful foot sweep by Mikhailov, but it was just too much, and he let it go all the way through. He was the one that initiated that beautiful job by Caldwell to take the back.
And Caldwell works well from his back, has 3 rear naked choke victories, looking for his 4th.
You got to figure right now, Mikhailov is dry. He doesn't have a whole lot of sweat. This is a great opportunity for Darrion Caldwell to get himself a win and out of this fight fast.
And Mikhailov, who has tasted defeat twice, has been submitted once. The first was a triangle choke back in 2017. So Darrion Caldwell with the back control, looking for that RNC to begin our festivities here tonight. 2 minutes gone in the first round. Well defended, though, thus far by Mikhailov.
Now, Mikhailov is sitting there. He understands that with where his hand's at, Caldwell's holding on to it, so he's just controlling off of the one. Nice job of getting himself back to guard. But this is where Darrion Caldwell wants to be. If he's on the ground, he wants to be in guard or in half guard. That way he controls the position and he can dictate the pace of the fight.
Midway point of the opening round, and strong start for Darrion Caldwell, who desperately needs to turn his fortunes around in the Bellator MMA cage, looking for his first win since January of 2020. And this is where Caldwell needs to be more aggressive, needs to try to create that distance, posture up, and rain down the ground and pound.
If he can get himself to just get a little bit of separation off of the top of Mikhailov. But yeah, as you see, Mikhailov keeps on taking and creating an angle change, which is making Darrion stop that offense and try to hold position. That also makes him work. And we saw AJ McKee catch Darrion Caldwell when he went and took AJ down. Darrion got caught in what we call the McKee now. He got submitted off of that, so he needs to be careful because Mikhailov, he's got a very good submission game.
Yeah, Mikhailov controlling Caldwell here now in the back and trying to just maybe get a stand-up. Has wrist control. Just over a minute left, and again, Darrion Caldwell in top position, but unable to really capitalize or maximize. And it's, again, very active on his back is Mikhailov.
Which is very important in this fight for him because it creates no space as far as Darrion is trying to crush that space, which takes energy to do. And he wants Darrion to get tired.
Caldwell with a hammer fist. Some body shots. Mikhailov looking to reverse, looking somehow to get it back to this fight to its feet with 30 seconds now left in the opening round.
All of these little movements by Mikhailov to just create that angle change. It's a smart tactic if you end up underneath Darrion Caldwell. Make him work the entire time.
And like Fedor Emelianenko, his mentor, looking for the armbar from his back.
Really, it was the cage that stopped him in that.
Keep your hands out of his eyes. Go, seconds out.
Caldwell using his decorated wrestling background to control the opening round against Nikita Mikhailov. And Caldwell launches a left kick, and Mikhailov coming forward, lands the right, and Caldwell times it and gets the takedown.
Nice job.
And immediately takes the back again, John.
Beautiful work by Darren Caldwell. He had the ability to come out, and he was going to end up in a half guard. He switched back, and he's got the ability to get this choke. It's close. Right now, it's getting tight. Mikhailov needs to really hold on to that, get a little bit of separation there. He's got that arm, which is keeping Caldwell from locking the choke up.
All 6 of Caldwell's wins have been via form of choke, including 3 via rear naked choke that he's looking to finish Mikhailov with here in the opening minute of the second.
See, and with where Caldwell had that one arm in place, but he could not get that locking arm free. It's a nice job of defense by Mikhailov.
Yeah, Mikhailov continues to do well with the hand grappling and trying to control the wrists of Caldwell.
Get on top! Get on top!
And Mikhailov is the one that's throwing punches and trying to break the grip of Caldwell. Caldwell trying to find a way to navigate the defense of Mikhailov in order to force that submission.
Darian right now is trying to figure out that hand play as far as what's going on where Mikhailov is holding it. He needs to take and figure out, do I want to go towards a rear naked choke? Do I want to go towards on the palm? Nice attempt at getting himself out. And Mikhailov needs to do more of that. He really needs to make Caldwell work in this position.
There's Mihailov's corner, including current Bellator light heavyweight champion Vadim Nemkov. Of course, later tonight, his teammates, including their leader Fedor Emelianenko and Anatoly Tokov, all looking to add that championship hardware to the Fedor team coffers. Midway point of the second. And that is Vladimir Tokov on the left, Anatoly's brother.
Who will be in Anatoly's corner tonight.
Absolutely.
Caldwell needs to start thinking about posturing up. Right now, you're looking at Mikhailov using his legs to create distance, which is allowing him to land elbow strikes. Well, Caldwell's not landing a whole lot from the top position.
2 minutes remaining in round 2. Elbows from the bottom by Mikhailov. And of course, on your back, you don't have the leverage, but he's still showing that he's busy trying to continue to keep Caldwell from improving his position. And Caldwell, despite having control, John, has been unable to really make it count.
Very little offensive output by Caldwell during this round. He's more controlling where the fight's at, but he's not doing any type of damage with this grounding attack.
Despite top control, it's Mikhailov that's more than doubled Caldwell in terms of strike output.
And that's what happens when you get into that, I need to keep this guy on his back. I need to hold on to him. This is a good break by Rafael Davis. Rafi Davis, ex-pro fighter, black belt in jiu-jitsu. He knows exactly what he's doing.
And that needs to be a wake-up call for Darion Caldwell.
Yes,
with just over a minute left here in the second round, who, again, with that NCAA title on the wrestling mat. Oh, nice counter again with the left. And Caldwell has had success countering Mikhailov on a few occasions here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's on those counters that he's actually gotten his takedowns, because he gets that close.
Times it perfectly.
Times it well. Mikhailov needs to really struggle to work himself.
And now it's Mikhailov that's looking for a submission, trying to, again, get off his back. Smothering top control by Caldwell, but he needs to ratchet up the offense.
When you're looking at the judges, Morrow, what they're looking at is, yes, he's getting the takedown, but what are you doing with the takedown? You've got to do some type of either damage or positional advantage. Right now, there hasn't been a lot from Caldwell during this round.
You gotta do some damage, right? What are you gonna do, scramble? So what if he scrambles? You got what? You can catch him again, right? You got better wrestling than him. So, hey, posture up. Hey, this. I want this. Get some water.
Закручивай его и легко работай. Не надо заряжаться в каждый удар. Легко начни работать. Пожалуйста, я тебя прошу. Физика, ты сам налетаешь. Он бы тебя не поймал бы, если ты двигался на ногах.
Caldwell's corner saying, hey, get him on the ground, you got to do damage. That's what we've been talking about. And John, in that second round, Caldwell had ground control for 8 minutes, 12 seconds, and yet Mikhailov able to land 16 of 19 elbow strikes, and again, not necessarily able to create leverage from your back, but they're landing and they're scoring.
Yeah, Jason Strout, who is in the corner of Darren Caldwell, first thing he said as Darren got over there is, hey, you taking the gun, you got to do damage right there. And that's been a problem with Darren throughout his career. He is so talented, and he can get the takedown against anyone. But once he gets it there, he tends to hold instead of doing things that the judges are going to say is him trying to finish the fight.
Caldwell delivering some left kicks, and of course, Caldwell has to be involved in that mental fight as well, having gone from being a Bellator 135-pound champion, now in the midst of a career-long 3-fight losing streak. But he says he's going to make a statement tonight. He says it's going to be a new and improved Darren Caldwell. Well, over 4 minutes now left here in the third to make that statement. But for Nikita Mikhailov, he also, though, has to now put the pedal to the metal and try to score on offense and do damage of his own. How do you have it after 2 rounds?
No, I'm looking at it and I say, obviously, Caldwell won the first round. I'll give Mikhailov the second, so both guys need this round. So both guys need to come out and put on a performance showing that I want to win this fight.
Mikhailov swims in with a combination of punches. Caldwell from the southpaw stance. Minute and a half gone in the third. And again, Caldwell looking to land that left high kick.
So I love the fact that Caldwell's going after that high kick. I think it's a good thing for him to do because he's got the wrestling base. If someone grabs it, he can get himself back up. He's that good in that position, so use that as a weapon.
Mikhailov leads with the right.
And you can see how long Darren is. Look at the length of this guy at this weight class. And he's just got all these athletic skills. He just needs to put them all together.
3-inch reach advantage for the former Bellator bantamweight champ in this fight. Walking forward. And Mikhailov just out of range. Just past the midway point of the final round. And there's the level change and the takedown attempt by Mikhailov, and he is looking to take the back of Caldwell with just over 2 minutes left in the round.
He's not only looking to take it, he did take it, there's no doubt. But can he keep Darren down? There goes Darren getting back to his feet.
Knee strike to the thigh. And another knee strike by Mikhailov. And looking to put the hook in.
Darren does not want to stay on his butt here. He needs to get himself back to his feet, start working the underhooks. He's a good enough wrestler. He knows what he needs to do. He's just got to put it in his mind, I'm going to do it.
Caldwell was trying to create some separation momentarily. Now delivers a knee up the middle. Mikhailov trying to take him off his feet. Neither able to create that separation as they stay clinched, moving around, and there's a throw attempt by Mikhailov, and we have reached the final 60 seconds of this opening contest at Bellator 290. Bantamweights, Darren Caldwell, Nikita Mikhailov, under a minute left.
Darian's done a good job of frustrating Mikhailov as far as the stand-up. He just can't seem to get within the range. When they get into this clinch here, you're seeing Darian trying to land the knees. Mikhailov always allowing him to push a little bit, give him some resistance. You saw him try almost a lateral on the last toss.
Half minute now left, and there's the takedown by Mikhailov.
Not a whole lot of time.
This is where you need to empty whatever's left, and there should be a lot left based on the pace of this fight.
Absolutely, both guys need to really just go for it. Darian needs to get himself back to his feet. Don't settle.
Well, both Caldwell and Mikhailov have to settle for going to the judges' scorecards. What's your biggest takeaways from what we just witnessed, John? Conservative approach.
Conservative approach by Darian because, look, at coming off of 3 losses.
Right.
Trust me, it's in the back of your head.
And that's what we talked about, and yet he said he wanted to make that statement.
I can't hit another loss.
Right.
And so this is the type of fight I expected out of him. Controlling fight, one where he does enough to get that decision win against a guy like Mikhailov, who we know he's hard to get rid of. So it wasn't a bad performance by Darian Caldwell. And the kicks, especially take a look up here, nice, right at the end of the toes. So obviously not quite the power that he wanted on it, but really overall, good job by Darian Caldwell in keeping the fight flowing.
It's not my greatest performance, but you will see it soon.
He just said it wasn't my greatest performance, but you will see it soon.
Well, he also came over and he was talking to me, saying, you know, he's looking at me saying, I need to work more on my volume, don't I? Yeah, absolutely. And yet, that's
Both
okay.
fighters did.
Exactly. You know,
as we look at it, again, our stats for Caldwell, 53 of 79. Mikhailov, 61 of 104 in terms of strikes. And let's make it official now. Let's go to Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance inside the Bellator cage, we'll go now to your 3 judges. Your first judge, Jonathan Mikhailov, 29-28. Chris Lieben, also 29-28. Felicia O, the same, 29-28. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Nikita Mikhailov.
Nikita Mikhailov. Wow, where was that energy in the fight, John? He has bounced back from his defeat to Enrique Barzola, and he improves now to 10-2, and there is setting the stage for Fedor team, the first victory of the night for them. For Darian Caldwell, though, now a career-long 4-fight losing streak. Tough times for the former Bellator bantamweight champion.
very tough times, and I really feel for Darian because it's hard to get that off your back, and you try to, I'm going to do more, and then when you're in that cage, there's just, you go back to what you do.
All right, let's say hello to Amanda Guerra and Josh Thompson at the fight desk.
Hello, gentlemen. What a great night ahead. Yes, I'm Amanda Guerra along with two-time world champ Josh Thompson. We will be here on the fight desk all night as we hop over eventually to CBS later for the first Bellator show on CBS. We are so honored to be a part of that. Josh, three great fights, excuse me, on the main card tonight. But the last one, it will mark the end of an era. Fedor finally retiring at the age of 46, going up against Ryan Bader. This is a rematch. Bader beat him the first time in 35 seconds. We're going to talk about tactics. We're going to talk about everything. Let's talk about Fedor and what he means to the world of MMA and the legacy he's leaving behind.
Well, he came in an era when, as fighters, we were trying to get fans and we were trying to get politicians to believe in this sport. And the way he carried himself made it a lot easier for us to get these laws and these rules and things like that passed. He carries that today. You see his humbleness. You see the way that he presents himself to everybody. He's very soft-spoken, very stoic, and I think the commissions, I think politicians, I think everyone that's been out there to help get this to the level that it is now today, he is a big part of that.
And there's so many fighters that he's brought up with Team Fedor. What does it mean? What does it say about him as a fighter that he wanted this fight with Ryan Bader. Ryan Bader could become the first person to ever beat Fedor twice. What does it say about Fedor that this is how he wanted to go out?
Well, it talks volumes about him as a competitor. He is somebody that really would like to make sure he puts a stamp on this and wants to close Ryan Bader out of his life moving on.
It's going to be an incredible night. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on CBS. We'll see you there, but for now, we'll send it back down to Morrow.
All right, thank you very much, Amanda. Set for action in the flyweight division. Alejandra Lara, she is looking to reverse her fortunes, trying to snap a 3-fight losing streak. Diana Avsaragova, she missed weight and was deducted 20% by the California State Athletic Commission, so 20% less money in Avsaragova's pocket as we go to the tail of the tape.
You know, you can take, she's got a perfect record, but when you miss weight, that's what it's marked on here. 128.8, that's way overweight. She's got a job to do, and she didn't do it as far as making that weight.
Here's Michael C. Williams.
Tonight here at Bellator 290 prelims will go now to the flyweight division, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing the blue corner. At 5'7", she weighed in 128.8 pounds. She's undefeated as a professional with 5 wins, no defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, Diana Pantera Avsaragova. And across the cage, her adversary out of the red corner. At 5'7", weighing in 125.8 pounds as a professional. 9 victories, 6 losses. She is the former Bellator flyweight title challenger, Alejandra Azul Lara. And the referee in charge, Jonathan Romero.
Good. Guys.
Lara looking to snap the longest losing skid of her career, while Avsaragova, her 3-fight Bellator winning streak, tied for the 3rd longest streak in the division.
Where is my 3rd judge? Where's the other judge? The judge? We're missing a judge. Missing a judge.
Lara's made a lot of changes, working at different camps, John, to try to snap that losing skid, get back on track, and trying to just find different opportunities to improve. And
all right, ladies, here we go. Round 1, fight, are you ready? Fight, are you ready?
Alejandra Lara right at this moment. Look, she's got all the skills to be a tremendous fighter. She just needs to put them all.
Oh, counter right hand by Avsaragova, and then it was the left from the southpaw Lara, but Avsaragova already landing 2 right hands.
We saw Avsaragova put a knockout, 1-punch knockout blow
in her debut. Lara Graf,
so
29 seconds.
We know she's got some snap.
There's again the counter, perfectly timed by Avsaragova, and Lara needs to get her head off the center line. And see Lara out of range, but Avsaragova able to keep her at the end of her punches with the counter, John.
Yeah, and what you saw right there, you saw her move her head off to the side and get out of the way of that punch, but she's got to do that continuously. She can't do it just once.
And it's Lara with the 3.5-inch reach advantage. Lara immediately snatches the waist lock. And it was Avsaragova who told us that due to injury, she hasn't really been able to showcase her wrestling pedigree. Wanted to show that she's a complete MMA fighter, and there's some good wrestling takedown defense.
I will tell you, I've watched her wrestle, and she is a dynamic wrestler. She's got a beautiful German suplex. She can wrestle, and so this fight, as I look at it, is all dependent upon where does she want it to be. Does she want to be in a stand-up battle, or does she want to use that wrestling to try to take Lara down? But Lara can be dangerous from her back.
And again, That right hand continues to find a home for Avsaragova.
Both ladies are throwing big shots right down the pipe.
Oh, and that counter, I mean, the counter has been like a metronome.
And it's been the left hand for Lara and the right hand for Avsaragova.
And as Lara goes for that inside calf kick, Avsaragova able to read it and immediately time it with the counter and beginning to bloody up the face of Alejandra Lara.
Oh, she's been money with that right hand. Every time she's throwing it, it's finding a mark.
Just past the midway point of the first round, it's been the counter right hand of Avsaragova that's been the difference as Lara goes for the head kick, and now Lara trying to make it a firefight with Avsaragova. She better be careful considering the precision of Avsaragova thus far.
Well, and what you're seeing, think about what you're seeing out of Avsaragova is straight punches, Mauro, for the most part. Not a lot of looping shots, straight punches down the middle, and that's why they're getting there fast.
And Lara just continues to remain on the center line. She has to step off, create angles, and avoid the offense of Avsaragova. Minute and a half left here in the opening 5 minutes of this flyweight matchup. Jab by Avsaragova connects. And see, unlike Lara, Avsaragova circles away and resets.
And again, you saw Lara, big looping punches. Avsaragova's, she circles out of it, gets away from all those shots. None of them land.
That was a nice lead, a right uppercut by Lara that did manage to connect. Again, she has the reach advantage, but it's been Avsaragova that's been precise.
The right hand has just been a laser, popping the head back of Alejandra Lara.
Right hand again by Avsaragova.
And all that you're seeing, that's all distance and timing.
Yes.
Avsaragova's got that distance down. Lara keeps lunging.
Lara's as gutsy as they come, as courageous with so much heart, and she's trying to march forward, but Avsaragova's counter-striking, as you mentioned, John, the timing, the distance, proving to be the difference in round one.
No doubt about it.
Estar en la línea, no estés en la línea con sus combinaciones, ¿ok? Y más de una patada o un punch, queremos combinaciones.
Inaugural flyweight champion Limele McFarland, who actually defended her title against Alejandra Lara, now in her corner. And we talked about Lara making changes, trying to bring in different voices and different philosophies in hopes of ending this career-long losing streak.
Boy, and it's so difficult when you're on that losing streak. You're trying to figure out what is it. She's been fighting well, fighting hard. She just can't find the win. And right now, nothing has changed after that first round. She's on the bottom side of that score.
She needs to get off that center line, John. I know it's not oversimplifying it, but that's exactly what she needs to do.
Right,
great angles.
Fight ready, fight!
Round number 2.
The ability to use your feet. That's where it all starts. That's your foundation.
Calf kick by Lara, showing Avsaragova, different looks, switching her stance back to southpaw. Body kick by Lara. And Avsaragova just very patient. Bouncing up and down, and again, just waiting for the opportunity to counter.
Her big thing, right now, she's wanting Lara to come towards her. She's waiting for that counter. That right hand is just cocked and ready to shoot out again. Every time Lara brings that kick up, just like you just saw right there, you see her stepping forward to meet that kick and throw the counter right hand.
Yeah, she picks up on Lara's tell. Like it's immediate as soon as Lara's thinking about delivering the kick.
It's like someone's giving her the script.
Yes. Avsaragova circling to her left away from the southpaw power, and again touches up the face of Lara.
Lara landed a nice, counter right hook, but she's really got to start moving that head off that center line. There it is, going back again. You cannot put your head back side to side.
Unless you're able to do a pull counter like a Floyd Mayweather, but
How many guys do that well?
Exactly. But Lara, 9-6, 4 knockouts, 3 submissions. Avsaragova, 5-0 with a knockout and a sub as action heats up here in round 2. Both of them landing decent strikes, and the right hand again popping the face of Lara by Avsaragova.
It's almost like when I used to tell Clay Guida, man, your hair does not help you in a fight, because even when you don't get hit hard, it looks like you are.
Yes.
And Lara's got all that hair, and it's just moving all over the place, telling the judges that she's getting smacked.
Finally seeing some evidence of the jab, flashing the jab. They're feigning, and they're Lara avoiding the lead right hand of Avsaragova.
A little redness on the left side of Avsaragova's face. A little blood out of the nose of Lara.
Push kick by Lara. Back to southpaw. Jab by Lara. And Avsaragova misses with the counter right. Midway point of the round and the fight. Again, Lara sticking out the jab. A lot of single shots, not much in terms of putting combinations together. And we've seen Lara diversify her attack, but Avsaragova very content to keep it textbook. 1-2, and of course the counter right.
Yeah, you see it. Lara is trying to use a kickboxing attack, utilizing the range of a kickboxer, and Avsaragova is basically being a boxer. She's just sitting there waiting for that, stepping in
and landing
that clean shot. And you have to be impressed by Avsaragova as far as the technical aspect of the way she throws those punches.
Nice crescent kick there by Lara. There's a stiff jab by Lara, and again Avsaragova able to evacuate, circle to her left, utilizing the footwork. And again, John, all textbook, all fundamentals.
This is why she's undefeated right now.
Yes.
We've seen her dominate in fights. We've seen her struggle in fights. But with this right here, against a solid fighter like Alejandra Lara, she's just sticking with her game, and you can see the difference.
A minute left in the second round. There's a lead right hand followed by a left hook from Avsaragova, again circling to her left. 45 seconds left in the second round. And Lara steps in, lands her left hand, and then gets countered with a jab from Avsaragova, but that's the commitment, and now Lara landing some of these looping shots.
Lara's kind of decided, I'm going to bite down on the mouthpiece and I'm going to go after her. But she's doing some damage there. That was clean left hand right there.
And man, wild swings, but some of them are landing for Lara. 20 seconds left here in round number 2. It's been the chaos of the offense of Alejandra Lara, and just this, Avsaragova, much like her countrymen, just very stoic, very calm, cool, and collected, and very much just wanting to deliver those strikes. But Lara is coming back and landed some good shots there in round 2.
She did, and they're going to remember those near the end. That's what they're going to remember, so. Take a look at this nice, clean kick to the inside, and then the counter by Avsaragova, and she's done that continuously. Nice, straight left hand. You see Lara coming after her. Both throwing jabs. Lara here just deciding, biting down on the mouthpiece, and I'm going after you. I don't care anymore. And that might be her way of trying to get a win in this fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your hands together as we go now to the third and final round.
Here we go, final round, fight you ready? Fight you ready? Bang!
Third and final round. Lara spent the last month in San Diego, California, working with Ilima-Lei Macfarlane, but she's also trained in Mexico, Colombia, and Brazil, racking up those frequent flyer points, man. But again, just trying to break this losing streak, whatever it takes. There's a deep to the midsection of Avsaragova by Lara. Inside calf kick by Lara. Lara diversified her attack, trying to mix up punches and kicks while Avsaragova's stuck to her boxing.
She's stuck basically to a straight boxing. And again, Mauro, she's got really good wrestling, and she could take Lara to the ground in this fight. She has that level of wrestling. She wants to be in this boxing range and utilizing her hands, so she's keeping the fight where she wants it. What we saw from Lara at the end of that second round is what I think Lara needs to do in this third round. You know what? Crush that space on her, make her pressured, throw a lot of shots.
A rare low kick by Avsaragova, but then she got her head popped back with that stinging left hand from Lara, and another left hand from Lara that lands, and there's a right hook that lands for Lara. So Avsaragova has definitely tasted the leather of Alejandra Lara. But it's not taken her away from her game plan. It's not
she
disrupted her in any way.
She sticks with what she wants to do. She does not get flustered, and she goes right back to just being in that position where she's looking for the counter strikes.
Lara steps forward, sits down, and just drills the straight left down the middle to the nose of Avsaragova. Under 3 minutes left in the fight.
There's one thing I think
parried the jab.
Lara needs a couple more feints. She's giving some feints in here now, giving a look. You're seeing sometimes Avsaragova actually start to bite on it. Sometimes she's not, but if you can get Avsaragova to, and you can get her to counter, then you can counter that counter.
Lara side kick there and counter upstairs by Avsaragova. Lara beginning to find the range.
Yep, no doubt about it. Throughout the last half of the second round and into this third round, the range factor has changed up. Lara knows exactly what range she needs to be at and is landing shots.
Counter, well, yes, nice jab that stopped Lara in her tracks momentarily, but she's done a better job with her jab from southpaw. Here's a wide right hook by Lara upstairs. Man,
nice combination.
Avsaragova needs an uptick in the offensive output here with a minute and a half left in the round.
I was just going to say, she has stopped with combinations. She's going more towards 1 or 1-2 shots, while Lara, when she goes, is throwing in more combinations.
And that may be in response to the fact because Lara's been able to land some stinging shots. Inside calf kick, lead kick by Lara. So she's mixing it up. Final 60 seconds of this flyweight fight.
I think both ladies need to figure out, I need to do something to win this fight.
And I think Lara's trying to do just that. Tie plum knee strike up to the face of Avsaragova, so much more aggressive Alejandra Lara.
And that's exactly what she needs. Avsaragova is making the mistake of she's thinking that she's winning this fight. Don't think that. Think that I need to win this fight and I need to do something to prove that I deserve it.
Jab to the sternum by Lara and a kick. Wow, and she's really looking to score with that crescent kick, and she lands again the right hook. Weak attempted a oblique kick by Avsaragova, trying to say, hey, I can kick too, but less than 15 seconds left. Will Alejandra Lara snap a 3-fight losing streak? Is Avsaragova going to extend her 3-fight winning streak? It's up to the judges to decide. Show respect, spirited effort between these two flyweights. How do you have it after 3 rounds on your unofficial card, Mr. McCarthy?
Well, unofficially, I'm giving it to Alejandra Lara. I love what I saw her do from that middle part of the second round on. She was really going after Avsaragova. She landed some really clean shots. Avsaragova had her moments too, but I love the aggression of Alejandra Lara. I love what she was trying to do in that. Take a look. Nice straight left. Snapping the head back right down the middle. And it was when she would throw those straight shots, she was able to get the other shots off. Knees coming up. Didn't really land very well, but going after it, at least showing, man, she's working at doing damage and trying to finish that fight.
You know, Lara, when she challenged Ilima-Lei Macfarlane, it was her first fight in the United States, very early in her career, by the way, but even for Macfarlane, a growing division. But
absolutely,
for Alejandra Lara and Diana Avsaragova, they now wait to hear how the judges see it. We didn't get a chance to see Avsaragova's wrestling.
Well, we saw her anti-wrestling.
Ready, ready.
No matter what, no matter how that score ends up, Alejandra Lara has got, she's going to be able to look in the mirror and say, hey, I did everything I could in that fight. And that's what you want. You want to be able to
never gives up.
I gave it everything I had.
She's admitted that the last few years have been taxing on her mental health, and she's, well, gave it all she got here tonight. Let's see who emerges victorious. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go now to your 3 judges at cage side. Your first, Habib Muhammad Ali, scores the fight 29-28, seeing it for Avsaragova. Your second judge, Jonathan Marigliano, scores it 29-28, seeing it for Lara. Your third and final judge at cage side, Rafael Davis, scores it 29-28 for the winner. By split decision, Diana Pantera Avsaragova.
Emotional reaction by Diana Avsaragova, who maybe she feels she, you know, escaped with a win here, because Alejandra Lara, though, gave it all she got. Split decision, John, I can see that.
Absolutely. This is the kind of fight when I say, don't be upset when you don't come out on the upper side of that, because it's a close fight, and the judges are sitting in a location. Maybe they didn't see some of the things that you did. You've got to make it distinct. You got to make them understand, I won this fight. They gave it to Avsaragova.
Diana Avsaragova improves to 6-0 as a pro.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we could take just a moment of time and draw your attention to the video screens now, and we'd ask you to please join us as we spend a moment to remember the members of our MMA community lost in 2022.
MMA history will be made with an epic rematch. Heavyweight champ Ryan Darth Bader against the legend Fedor Emelianenko, fighting in his final bout ever. Plus, pound-for-pound world top 10 Johnny Eblen defends his title versus number 3 Anatoly Tokov. 2 title fights, 1 can't-miss special event. Bellator MMA tonight, live on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
The Kia Forum here in Inglewood, California. Fans starting to file in to get ready for our final fight tonight, because that is going to be so much focus. Fedor retiring at the age of 46 in a rematch with Ryan Bader. But our co-main event is going to be absolutely explosive. First of all, we have a Fedor apprentice in Anatoly Tokov. 31-2 is his record, 24 finishes. He's going up against our middleweight champion, Johnny Eblen. Johnny has taken this middleweight division by storm. He stunned everyone, beating Gegard Mousasi. How do these two guys stack up against one another?
They stack up very well against one another, but Johnny Eblen has half the fights that Tokov has, but he hasn't shown any of those falters that you would have thought, being someone who's only 12-0, coming off that win of Gegard Mousasi, where he just dismantled the legend Gegard Mousasi. On the feet, on the ground, in the wrestling, everywhere that people try to take Gegard, he was able to do. But with Tokov, he's got to make sure that he's not taking a back step, that he's more of the hammer and less of the nail, pushing Eblen around and slowing him down, because Johnny Eblen's footwork posed to be big problems against Gegard. He's got to make sure he takes that footwork away.
Anatoly Tokov talking about how he does feel extra pressure being on this card with Fedor, and it being Fedor's final fight. Obviously,
Absolutely.
He wants to win. Johnny Eblen, though, still undefeated. That's our co-main event. For now, we'll send it back down tomorrow with more of the prelims.
All right, thank you very much, Amanda, and we are set for action here now between Grant Neal, ranked at number 6 in the light heavyweight division, 6-1 in Bellator, 7-1 overall. He takes on Carl Albrektsson, who's 13-4 overall, including a 2-2 record in the Bellator MMA cage. Let's go to the tail of the tape, John, for this 205-pound encounter.
Very simply put, you can see the length and size of Carl Albrektsson, 6'2" to maybe 5'11". I'm not giving Grant Neal that, but Grant Neal incredibly strong.
Here's Michael C. Williams.
For all those joining us tonight live on YouTube at Bellator MMA and Showtime Sports, we welcome you to Southern California, kicking off 2023 here with the 290 prelims, where we go now 3 5-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. Introducing the blue corner at 6'2", weighing in 205.2 pounds. His professional record, 13 wins, 4 losses, fighting out of Stockholm, Sweden, King Carl Albrektsson. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 5'11", weighing in 205.2 pounds. As a professional, he's near perfect at 7-1. He fights out of Denver, Colorado, Grant the Neal. And your referee in charge, Blake Rice.
Grant Neal looking to build on his last victory over Christian Edwards at Bellator 278, while Albrektsson, he hopes to bounce back from a submission loss to Carl Moore at Bellator 285 last September via second-round face crank. Fell into a deep depression after that loss, and exacerbated by, of course, online trolls, but has been working with a, mental coach and just trying to really focus, because the mental game is so important in fighting, John, as we both know. And here he is now coming back off a loss against Grant Neal, who obviously off to a good start here.
Off to a great start in Bellator, and look, he's had one loss. It was a split decision. Grant Neal is a good wrestler. He's got heavy hands. Now, the one thing is, he doesn't have that length, but he can get inside, and here he goes trying to take Albrektsson down. And this was the question, because Albrektsson is a much better wrestler than people give him credit for. His wrestling is outstanding. He's wrestled with guys even that he's fought, guys like Phil Davis and stuff. He can keep Grant Neal working hard, and he wants to do that in these types of situations. He wants Grant to try to take me down, work hard, and I want him to get tired.
Neal, a two-time Colorado State wrestling champion in high school, and he said wrestling isn't fun, but getting your hand raised is, and that's why he excelled at the sport. He's always been an extremely competitive person, and now they break, and back in the center of the cage, the jab from Albrektsson. There's a counter inside low kick by Albrektsson as Neal flashed the jab. Ooh, stinging calf kick to the outside there by Albrektsson.
That was very nice. And look, Albrektsson, like we said, his wrestling and his ground game, especially if he takes his opponent down in the top position, this guy does incredible ground and pound. So Grant Neal needs to use that wrestling that he has to also stay on his feet if Albrektsson decides to bring him down.
There's the youngest ever UFC heavyweight champion, catch wrestling specialist, pro wrestling star Josh Barnett, who's in the corner of Carl Albrektsson, my broadcast partner when we used to call New Japan Pro Wrestling back in the day.
Josh Barnett is an awesome individual. You talk about an encyclopedia when it comes to both MMA and wrestling.
Sharp jab from Neal.
Nice job on the check by Neal, though. You saw that kick by Albrektsson. Neal did a nice job, not just eating it. He needs to continue to do that. If Albrektsson brings that kick in, he's got to check those kicks. Don't let him eat up that leg.
Again, Albrektsson chopping away at the lead leg of Neal. That again checked by Grant Neal.
Nice heavy low kick by Grant Neal.
Albrektsson flashing the jab and then counter left hook, though, when they close the distance by Neal. Neal changes levels, looking for the takedown on Albrektsson, drives him to the fence. Well defended by the Swede.
I believe he's got his hands together. Very nice.
Yeah. There it is.
When you get those hands together and you get them underneath those hips, you've got complete control of your opponent if you know what you're doing. Grant Neal bringing him down, trying to keep him there. Can he do it?
Yeah, Albrektsson going to try to wall walk, is posted up and trying to deliver some, is delivering some short strikes as his wrist now being controlled by Neal momentarily.
What Neal's trying to do is he's reaching out with that right hand to try to bring the left hand of Albrektsson to his left hand so he can control that side. He's just unable to do it at this time.
60 seconds left in the first round. Neal with the takedown along the fence. Albrektsson trying to shift his positioning and his weight using that left-handed post, but Neal keeps controlling him there and now comes over the top with a series of right hands.
Well, that nice little figure four you're seeing with his legs, controlling the left leg of Albrektsson. That's what's keeping Albrektsson from getting up right now. But Grant needs to bring his head up higher. Don't allow him to push your head down towards the canvas. Get your head up high.
He can hold, but he can't hit. He has to choose between one or the other. 20 seconds.
Big knee to the back of Albertsson's left leg.
Everything Grant throws has steam on it.
Albrektsson back up to his feet as time will expire here in round number 1.
Beautiful. Big breath in. Big breath in. Hey, great mixture in that round. Hey, the kicks were there. The punches were there. The takedown was there. The work on top of the takedown was there. That was a great full package that first round. Now, we're not satisfied. We're going to keep it going, okay? So what happened with this takedown now? Where's his hands going to be? Every feint he's going to respect now. So now we're going to get those low feints, and I want everything coming over the top.
You bring that overhand, let's run him either way.
That's right.
Wrestling was great, let's lock our hands sooner. Right? He's tall. So we lock our hands. Head down the floor. Get out of there.
Så Kalle, nu kör vi. Tänk på att han lämnar främre benet, han kliver bak. Jobbar vi där.
All right, here we go. Round 2, you ready? Round 2, you ready? Fight.
Bell round number 2. Jacob Ramos in Grant Neal's corner. Very pleased with Neal's handiwork in that opening round.
He's blinking.
Neal flashes the jab inside, low kick to the lead leg by Albrektsson. Good feints by Neal, and Ramos, nice right hand over the top by Albrektsson. And John Ramos talked that, you know, Albrektsson now would be leery because of that successful takedown in that round and maybe bite down on some of these feints.
Yeah, well, he's looking for him to drop those hands to help defend the wrestling takedown. And the real question is, Albertsson's got a good jab, and he needs to utilize it more. He can keep Grant Neal off to the end of that punch. Just pop that jab more and more.
A minute has elapsed here in the second stanza. There's a attempt at the left hand there that just missed on Albrektsson.
Little sneaky uppercut by Albrektsson.
I saw that. Nice chopping right hand by Albrektsson. Neal's corner, happy with his mix, as they say. And there, exchange.
That was a nice clean shot by Albrektsson. Landed clean. And the big difference is what Neal needs to do is he wants to get back towards that wrestling, but he's got to use his hands to get into that wrestling scenario. And that's what his corner was talking about. You were doing those things right, and we want to see you do it again. The question is right now, with him going backwards, it makes it a little difficult.
Double jab by Albrektsson. Again, the lock jab, the level change, entry by Neal, takedown secured. And again, at the fence, and again, using the figure 4 to lock down the legs.
And this time on the figure 4, he's got both legs.
Yep.
That is a la Khabib right there. And he's looking to feed that hand. See how he's reaching over towards getting that left hand. He wants to feed that to his left hand. Yeah, that's what he needs to do. You see how that head comes up? If that head comes up, it opens everything up as far as you being able to attack your opponent. If your head's down, you can't punch with any power.
Speaking of Mamedov, they're also looking to maybe snatch those wrist rights known as the Dagestani handcuffs. But now it's Albrektsson who's on one knee. And again, the knees from Neal.
Albrektsson did a nice job of breaking the grip. Albrektsson did a 2-on-1 on that wrist. Very nice job. He's got a heavy whizzer on that underhook of Grant Neal.
Neal on the escape there, lands a short left.
That tells you a lot about the way Grant Neal's looking in this fight, because he's saying, I'll break away to land that shot.
Outside calf kick to the lead leg of Albrektsson by Neal again, mixing up his offense. Nice movement, slipping to the left and delivering the right hand by Neal. And Albrektsson In range with the jab, gets countered though by Neal. Albertsson's hands a little low, looking to stab the body with the jab, but has to be careful. And you mentioned it, John, because of the wrestling acumen of Neal. Neal's corner, oh, that was a chopping calf kick to the lead leg of Neal.
Yeah, that one hurt.
Yeah, and the reason being because Jacob, in Neal's corner, Jacob Ramos wants him to feint that takedown, go over the top with the right hand.
Jake Ramos gave Grant Neal all the right information during that break between the first and second, and he wanted him to continue on, but he's got to use his hands to set up that takedown.
Jab.
Don't just go after the takedown, raw dog.
And Albrektsson going for the kick there, and again, almost caught by Neal, which would have probably resulted in a takedown attempt. It wasn't fully committed, but again, there's that sneaky right uppercut by Albrektsson.
It is, and you know, it lands though. He doesn't have a ton of power on it, but it's landing.
Final 15 seconds of the second round. Neal feinting, trying to open up an opportunity to counter. Coming up later tonight, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on CBS, the main event, the final fight for the legendary last emperor Fedor Emelianenko at age 46, trying to become the oldest MMA champion in history, seeking revenge against Ryan Bader, who beat him in this venue 4 years ago to win the vacant heavyweight title and the $1 million heavyweight World Grand Prix. For Bader, he wants to cement his legacy as the only man to beat Fedor twice.
You go get it. Let's go.
Seconds out.
Stay back, stay back. Back. Back up behind that. Back. Stay right there. Don't move. Nah. Get back. I know I'm getting back too. You ready? You ready? Fight.
Third and final round. How do you have it on your unofficial scorecard?
I think this fight is even right now. I think both guys need to get after it in this round. I think Albrektsson got a little bit more comfortable with the range and using that left hand. We'll see if he can just amplify that in this round.
Albrektsson looking to curl the lead left hook behind the guard of Neal. And Albrektsson pumping the jab, goes back downstairs with the outside calf kick to the lead leg of Neal. High guard by Neal. Neal changes levels, but stuffed by Albrektsson.
Nice job by Albrektsson. That's what I'm talking about. Look, he's a good wrestler.
And good slip of that punch, head movement, avoiding the shot by Neal. Got popped with the jab. Pot shot by Neal.
Nice job by Neal. Come inside, but he needs to come in with, don't stop on that 1 or that 1-2. It's always that 3-4 that's going to end up doing more damage.
Right hand by Neal.
That was a nice little feint by Neal. Okay, a little feint like he's going to kick. Caught Albrektsson kind of stiff and then landed the shot.
Right cross that grazed the chin of Neal by Albrektsson. Albrektsson just out of range though. In terms of when he does throw shots, still just a few inches away, yeah. Oh, beautiful left hook to the body by Neal. And again, changes levels, looking for the single.
Needs to turn that corner on that, and now that the leg's down, it's not going to be easy.
Of course, Albrektsson looking to limp leg escape if possible, showing good balance though, as again he's backed up to the fence. But this time still on his feet, double underhooks. Oh, but on the clinch, right uppercut. Short right uppercut by Neal on the inside.
Beautiful dirty boxing by Grant Neal there.
Midway point of the third, and that was south of the border, but Neal says, let's carry on. And Neal feinting the entry, but telegraphing that shot.
You see it, that's what I was talking about. You want to set it up by using your hands. Don't sit there with a feint of a punch and then think that you're going to get that takedown against someone like Albrektsson. He's too good at his wrestling.
Albrektsson being credited with throwing twice as many strikes as Neal right now, but it's very close in terms of total connections, with Albrektsson ahead 57-53 in terms of total strikes landed. It's Neal with 2 out of 6 in the takedown department. But Neal is 0 for 2 in the takedown department here in the final frame.
Yeah, he's trying to work his way inside. He's been looking at that opportunity to throw a punch that's going to make Albrektsson bring his hands to a position where they're up, get into that dropping of levels into the legs. It's not happened so far. Nice right hand.
Beautiful right hand by Albrektsson.
You can see how the momentum of this fight has really changed more, where Grant Neal was really in control in the early part of the first round throughout it, and then into the second a little bit. Now Albrektsson starting to come and take over.
Final minute of the final frame. Albrektsson using some footwork. Has a jab, double pump from Neal, trying to disrupt Albrektsson to land a bigger shot. Body kick by Albrektsson. Put himself off balance.
Nice jab there by Grant Neal.
Inside low kick by Neal, but it's the single digit.
Both guys really need to try to put a cherry on top of this, make the judges realize I'm the guy going after this. I want to finish it.
And in the final seconds, single leg attempt by Neal. Albrektsson defending along the fence, but he does get scooped up and dropped right at the bell. As they go the distance in this light heavyweight encounter between Grant Neal and Carl Albrektsson. Neal ranked number 6, Albrektsson number 9. 2 top 10 ranked fighters in the division that is being ruled by Vadim Nemkov, one of the Fedor team fighters on hand here tonight, John, especially with what's going on in the main event. But for Albrektsson and Neal, how do you have it?
Tell you what, this is like Avsaragova versus Lara. You can look at it both ways. I think that Albrektsson in the end was just the more effective fighter. He was coming on. Neal had his moments, and he got some takedowns, but it's what did he do with the takedown? So it's a real question of the way the judges look at it.
You know, Albrektsson actually holds a victory over the current Bellator light heavyweight champion Vadim Nemkov and his brother Victor Nemkov.
Oh, that's right.
He, again, has the pedigree. Neal, of course, off to a great start in his career, as you mentioned. He's 6-1 here in Bellator, 7-1 overall. Got off to a great start with his wrestling and control. And as you mentioned, John, over the course of the fight, especially in the third round, Albrektsson able to connect a little more, avoid the takedowns. Yep. And even when not avoiding it, able to keep Neal from doing any real damage.
Even though Neal got the takedown, which is great, it's what do you do with the takedown, and when no damage occurs, then it means that it's more of a positional change. It doesn't do anything to really affect the fight.
Let's go to Michael C. Williams with the official decision.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we go to your 3 judges for your scorecards. Your first judge, Felisa O, scores the fight 29-28. She sees the fight for Albrektsson. Your second judge, Chris Lieben, 29-28, seeing the fight for Neal. Your third and final judge, Wade Vieira, 29-28, for the winner by split decision, Grant the
Grant Neal makes it 2 in a row, improves to 8-1, 7-1 here in Bellator MMA, eking out a split decision over Carl Albrektsson, who has now lost 2 in a row for the first time in his career.
Yeah, but he's got the loss, and there's always something he's to be able to go back and look at and say, I could have done more. But look, it was a close fight.
Let's go back up to the fight desk. Here's Amanda.
Moro, thank you. Josh, I'm going to start by saying, can I call you Sir Joshua? Like with the glasses? Because we're still on YouTube right now, so I can talk about your glasses right now. What do you think? This is the first time Josh has ever worn them on air. We like them.
The first month I've had them, so I'm getting used to them myself, but I had to whip them out because sometimes I can't read what's on this paper.
Yeah. You're old now. We know that. Look, let's talk about what we have coming up on our main card. We were at the weigh-ins yesterday. Standing room only. 2 guys stole the show, though. Sabah Hamasi, Brennan Ward. Look at this. I mean, they start, what do you call it? Like just pumping each other up. And we love this energy between the two of them. I mean, this fight's going to be crazy.
They understand what they were brought onto this card for. It was to excite the crowd, get it going, to open up the show with a bang. Both of these guys bring the heat. Both of them don't plan on taking a backward step. They both plan on meeting in the middle and just throwing down.
What are the chances we make it out of the first round of this fight?
I would say like 1%. 1%.
It's going to be fireworks. That kicks off our main card on CBS tonight at 9 Eastern. Moro, we'll go back down to you. You look good, by the way, Moro. We haven't seen you on camera enough, but you look good.
Thank you so very much, Amanda. You know who else has looked really good? Chris Gonzalez. 6-2 in Bellator, 7-2 overall. He will take on Max Rashkov, who is making his Bellator MMA debut in this lightweight battle. Let's go to the tail of the tape.
Both of these guys, outstanding wrestlers. 7-2 record for Chris Gonzalez, 7-1 for Max Rashkov.
Here's Michael C. Williams.
Tonight here at the Kia Forum in Inglewood, we go now to 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. First, introducing the blue corner. At 6 foot, weighing in 155.6 pounds, making his Bellator debut. He enters with 7 professional victories, 1 defeat. He fights out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Max Rashkov. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner. At 5'11", weighing in 155.6 pounds. As a professional, 7 wins with 2 losses. From Chicago, Illinois, he fights out of Sacramento, California, Chris the Lion Gonzalez. And the referee in charge, Frank Trigg.
Good. Sound good.
Gonzalez looking to bounce back from a loss to the now Bellator MMA lightweight champion Usman Mamedov. Rashkov comes into his Bellator MMA debut riding a 2-fight losing streak.
Go.
Or make that 2-fight winning streak. I apologize. Right? You don't ride a losing streak.
I don't want to do that to him.
Exactly. Especially after the 1 loss in the UFC and the fallout from what happened in that fight when he was forced to retire in between rounds, took the fight on short notice, was released, went back on the regional circuit, put together back-to-back victories, and is now looking to make the most of his opportunity here in Bellator.
You're absolutely right. It's a great commentary towards what happened to him. He took a fight on short notice and he got exhausted. You do a camp for reasons, and that is to build towards that fight, making yourself the best you can be. He went out there under the bright lights. It was too much, man. He burned the gas. It's okay. I'm telling you right now, Moro, he can fight.
And like
his submission game is outstanding.
And like our former Bellator bantamweight champion Darion Caldwell, we saw in action earlier tonight. He also wrestled at North Carolina State University.
Yeah, I think both these guys are outstanding wrestlers. Greco-Roman for Chris Gonzalez.
Six-time Greco-Roman All-American for Chris Gonzalez.
Freestyle for Rashkov, but I think it's going to get kind of canceled out.
High kick by Gonzalez from the southpaw stance. A lot of feints by Gonzalez. Looking to create an angle for entry. There's a right hand by Rashkov. There's an overhand right by Gonzalez.
Chris looking very good in his stand-up right now. Very composed, technically striking well. Trying to throw straight punches, switching back and forth in that stance. That's giving Rashkov a little bit of trouble.
Oh, and Gonzalez unloads a right hand that clocked Rashkov. Rashkov was going backwards, took some steam off the shot, but still well-placed punch by Gonzalez.
The fact that he was going backwards absolutely helped him with that, because that thing had a lot of power on it.
Gonzalez using a lot of speed to crash that space, John, in the entry, and trying to just, again, disrupt any rhythm that Rashkov's trying to build. Lateral movement, lots of feints, giving Rashkov lots to consider. And now Rashkov snatching the neck of Gonzalez, and they break.
And this is exactly, you can't make that mistake. Beautiful turn on that by Rashkov.
Talk about wrestling.
That was some wrestling there. Chris Gonzalez goes, yep.
Yeah, well done.
Got that, and I got out. Both guys are having fun out there.
Final 2 minutes of the opening round. Trying to collect the data, develop an idea of what's in front of the other as, again, they come together.
Nice left hand landed by Max Rashkov.
Stay long. There you go. Take that hand away. Nice. 90 seconds, Max. 90 seconds.
Minute and a half now left in the opening round. High kick blocked by Gonzalez.
We've seen that Chris Gonzalez is just an outstanding athlete. And if you're going to take a look at the record, he's faced the better competition. Now, his two losses, one to Goichi Yamauchi, one to the now champion Usman Nurmagomedov. You know, that happens, but he has been very competitive in his fights. The only one he really wasn't was that Usman. He got caught by the choke.
Yeah, the guillotine choke in the first round, but you're right. That's why they fight. Oh, nice counter right hand by Rashkov as Gonzalez came in.
Absolutely.
Oh, and then Gonzalez winding up, and as he was throwing the right hand, Rashkov changing levels, thinking about a takedown attempt.
Yeah, you could tell Chris was trying to bring that one back. He got caught on that shot. He didn't like it. He came back with a lot of steam on it. You need to just relax. Don't start to do things that are going to cause you problems by overextending.
Competitive opening round, with each now being credited with 15 strikes landed. And when, of course, Gonzalez with a 8-7 edge in terms of punches landed, but good stuff here in the first round between Gonzalez and Rashkov.
Really good stuff.
Right? We gave him some loop looks. He's going to be protected high. The same exact footwork, same exact setup, but I want to stick that right cross down the midline, okay? We're getting a little heavy on our front foot, so make sure that back foot's coming along with us. And then when you're on the barriers, feint more, feint more. Good job, coach. He runs his hand, he's take him down sometimes. Come on, you see it, put him on his ass. Yeah, head inside singles. Let's make this thing wrestle. You know, you're all there all day. Good. Hey, a little bounce. Let me see you bounce it right now. Listen. He goes clear. He's looking for the go clear, guys.
Eric Nixick in Max Rashkov's corner. And Chris Gonzalez, of course, out of Alpha Male and Combat Sports Academy, and Hall of Famer Uriah Faber built that Team Alpha Male, one of the all-time greats in the smaller weight classes, as we begin round number 2. And there is Uriah Faber in the corner of Chris Gonzalez. Gonzalez landing the 3-punch combination on the break. And there Rashkov looked for the takedown. Does manage to now take the back of Gonzalez. And Rashkov does have 5 submission wins, John, including 4 rear naked chokes.
And if I was going to say, if there's an area where I give Rashkov the advantage, it is in a grappling situation, looking for submissions. Nice job by Chris Gonzalez trying to work his way out, but he needs to be careful.
Good job by Rashkov to go into full mount.
Beautiful job by Rashkov.
But aggressive by Gonzalez, not willing to accept his fate here and looking to escape, but giving up his neck. Beautiful scramble.
Great work by Chris Gonzalez. That's what we talk about, is do not settle, and he never settled in that.
Oh, he hurt him and he just dropped him.
Look at that arm, it's back. He's in trouble, he's done, he's done.
And the fight is over. Chris Gonzalez with his 3rd knockout victory, stunning Max Rashkov.
You got knocked.
Chris Gonzalez stopped Roger Huerta at Bellator 255 and then landed the head kick and punches against Saad Awad at Bellator 273, and here at Bellator 290, Chris Gonzalez records his 3rd knockout victory in the Bellator MMA cage and his 4th overall.
Take a look at what happens here. He hits the top of the head there. You see that little stumble, that stunned him. And then taps him right on the forehead. Look at where his left arm is at. See how it's back? He has no ability to control his body right there. Beautiful work by Chris Gonzalez. Watch again. That shot right there, right on the forehead. It puts him back, and it just discombobulates him. Look at him with his arms out. Chris Gonzalez finishing him off. Man, beautiful, showing the power there by Gonzalez. And then going after him. Big win for Chris Gonzalez coming off of that loss to Mamedov.
Celebration in the Team Alpha Male corner. Smile says it all for Chris Gonzalez, who's now 8-2.
Good, you guys. Okay. See what's up.
And he was, you know, that knockout of Saad Awad, knockout of the year contender, and man, he just put a stamp on his first fight in 2023, and good show of sportsmanship, and great to see Max Rashkov on his feet. Let's go to Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end. 1 minute, 22 seconds into round number 2. The winner by TKO, Chris the Lighthead Gonzalez.
Chris Gonzalez with a knockout win here at Bellator 290 in the prelims. We'll roll on.
Get a picture, get your picture, good.
From the gym to the streets, Bellator fans head to BellatorShop.com and gear up in the same apparel the fighters wear. Hey Bellator Nation, follow us across a large array of digital platforms and stay up to date on everything you need to know. Like us on the Bellator Facebook page and see exclusive videos. Follow us and get instant updates on Twitter at Bellator MMA and get a chance to have your tweet live on the broadcast. See amazing pictures on Instagram at Bellator MMA. Join Bellator Nation today.
MMA history will be made with an epic rematch. Heavyweight champ Ryan Darth Bader against the legend Fedor Emelianenko, fighting in his final bout ever. Plus, pound-for-pound world top 10 Johnny Evans defends his title versus number 3 Anatoly Tokov. 2 title fights, 1 can't-miss special event. The Bellator MMA. Tonight, live on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Coming up tonight at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, Bellator MMA's debut on CBS, and it features the retirement fight for the all-time great Fedor Emelianenko, challenging heavyweight champion Ryan Bader, looking to avenge the loss here in this venue 4 years ago when Bader won the vacant championship. Johnny Eblen defends the middleweight title for the first time against Fedor team member Anatoly Tokov, and things, well, we'll start with a big bang. Saba Omasi, Brennan Ward, they know why they're put on the main card to kick off this landmark event, John.
No doubt they know, and they have said we're going to bring it, so we're going to see what happens. It should be explosive.
And of course, we say farewell to Fedor, John, and we could talk for hours about all of his accomplishments, but now at 46, looking to, well, better by 3 years what Randy Couture, and that's the one that got away, by the way, for all of us, Fedor and Randy. But Couture was 43 when he won the UFC heavyweight title. Tonight at 46, Fedor looks to retire as the oldest MMA champion in the heavyweight division.
And if he does it, it's remarkable, and he's had an unbelievable career. And the way that he's gone about just conducting himself throughout the career, he helped make MMA what it is.
Well, speaking of heavyweights, let's take a look at the tail of the tape for our next contest. Number 5 ranked heavyweight contender Steve Mowry, 10-0. He welcomes the undefeated Ali Isagov to Bellator MMA.
You can take a look at everything. Giant guys, 6'8", 6'3", all that stuff. 10-0 versus 9-0. Someone's always got to go.
Let's go to Michael C. Williams.
To all those joining us tonight live in the UK on BBC iPlayer, we welcome you to Inglewood, California, as we get set now here at the prelims to go 3 5-minute rounds in the heavyweight division. Introducing the blue corner. At 6'3", weighing in 261.8 pounds in his Bellator debut. He stands undefeated, 9 victories, no losses, fighting out of Baku, Azerbaijan, presenting Ali Isagov. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 6'8", weighing in 253.4 pounds as a professional. He too enters undefeated, bringing 10 victories without a defeat by way of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He fights out of Deerfield Beach, Florida. Introducing Steve Mowry. And the referee in charge, Herb Dean.
Let's fight.
Bell and round 1. Mowry fighting out of Kill Cliff FC, Ali Isagov, the Fortress Club, Gabala Club.
Ali Isagov, an outstanding wrestler, was on the Olympic team. Went to the Olympics as a wrestler, came in 17th. That doesn't mean anything other than you are a phenomenal wrestler to make it to the Olympic Games. He has the advantage in the wrestling. Mowry has the advantage in the submission game.
Good right hand by Isagov, who did compete at the 2008 Summer Olympics. And there is the takedown.
And this is where Steve Mowry cannot settle in a position like side control or half guard. He has got to get himself at least to a full guard so he can open up his attacks to both sides. Nice job of getting the one.
Yeah, right back to guard.
Beautiful work by Steve. Look, Steve Mowry on the ground. He trains under Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns is as good a jiu-jitsu guy as you will find. And he is very high on Steve Mowry and what he can do off of his back, which is unusual for a heavyweight.
Yep.
And one of the things that Steve Mowry normally tries to attempt, he loves the Kimura. Now, the Kimura is a strength maneuver, and so when a guy is fresh, sometimes won't work. But he loves going after the Kimura, and he's been very successful with that submission throughout his career.
Mowry active from his back, controlling Isagov's posture. Isagov trying to posture up, but content to keep it close. An elbow strike off the back by Mowry.
And Isagov needs to really, look, in this position, anytime you have a guy who's keeping that head towards the sternum, hey, that's not good. You need to posture, you need to create space, you need to land big blows. Nice elbow by Steve Mowry.
He keeps delivering those elbows from his back.
That was a nice elbow from Isagov.
2 minutes left in the first. And Mowry looking for perhaps submission, just wanting to kick Isagov off, and Isagov back. Dogged determination back into the guard of Mowry.
Well, he's trying to throw up that triangle, bringing the legs up high.
Now slashing elbow across the forehead of Isagov again, looking to cut him.
And you're looking at what Mowry's doing. Open guard here. He's got the foot on the hip.
Flexible 6'8" fighter, Steve Mowry.
Well, and that length creates problems for Isagov in that he has got a longer, frame, and it's tough to maneuver within it, and those long limbs are difficult to work within. So I understand why Isagov's having a problem here. He goes that high guard again.
Looking for an opportunity to finesse his way to a triangle choke attempt. Now postured by Isagov. He lands an elbow across the face of Mowry. Under a minute remaining in the first round.
Mowry really needs, if he's going to go for that triangle, Moro, he really needs to bite down with his legs. Create where you're almost grabbing Isagov and pulling him the way you want. You can't just throw up the legs and think that your legs are just going to flow into the right place.
Just over 3 minutes now and counting. Ground control for Ali Isagov here in the first round. But it's Mowry who's been much more active from his back, not only with the guard work, but the striking. Short right hands to the body. Mowry looking for that block. Catch wrestling.
Catch wrestling double wrist lock, that's fine.
Hey, we just saw Josh Barnett. I got to say,
this is true. This is true.
But you're right. Hey, but a good job for Mowry on the back. John Isagov did utilize that Olympic wrestling background to get the takedown, but after that, had difficulty maximizing that position.
Landed a couple of shots. One good elbow inside that I can remember, he landed on Mowry. But overall, again, this is not about control. This is about trying to finish. And what you're seeing with Steve Mowry is at least Mowry is throwing up, trying to go after the finish, looking for the submission. That's what we want to see.
More urgency, that's all. That's all. Hey, if you want to wrestle, wrestle.
На стойке не возись. Попробуй. Переходи и вот эту работу делай. Еще не умеет. Наша задача поработать. Все, давай. Он бедро дал.
Hey, let's go. You felt it. You felt it. That's it. Let's go. Back. Back. Right.
Round number 2.
Nice job by Isagov.
Of course, Mowry had that 10 fight as he sneaks in for that single leg, gets him down.
Nice work by Mowry.
Good escape by Isayev. Mowry went to a no contest with Valentin Moldavsky. And now Mowry's got the hooks in.
That was a big mistake. Isayev went for the throw, he missed it. Mowry did a beautiful job. Now in the back position.
Looking for his first rear naked choke submission, but now just wanting to ground and pound from the back ride.
Beautiful. Look where those hips are at for Isayev. He's got to get those legs back underneath him. He's trying. You see Mowry lighting him up.
Mowry's mauling him from the back with these short punches. Isayev not defending himself whatsoever. Referee on the verge of stopping this fight.
See those legs? He's got that hip control. Those legs. Once those legs are up in the air, he's got nowhere to go.
I'll stop it.
Referee saying he's going to stop it. Now a triangle choke attempt by Mowry.
He's got it. All he's got to do is continue that pressure, force the pressure forward, and if he can come to the side, it's going to create a lot more. Mowry should bring himself to the side. There he goes. That's going to continue to move on that angle.
Mowry looking for a second arm triangle choke submission, back to full mount now.
Mowry's arm started to get tired there after all that he did, and that's why he moved himself back to the mount position.
And has posture, now wanting to drop some elbows to the face of Isayev. It was Isayev with all of that control time, unable to do much from the position. Mowry making the most of his top position time.
Absolutely, Mowry's putting on him. He needs to just pick the big shot. Don't worry about all the little ones. Look for the big shot right now. You've done a lot of work. You've gotten yourself in a position where he can't get you out of the mount. He's tired. He's been hurt.
Mowry won his first 10 fights, last fight a no contest with Valentin Moldavsky after an accidental eye poke. But in terms of elbows landed, Mowry 16 for 16, 100%. And he wants to eviscerate Isayev with his elbows. Isayev gives up his back again, and now ground and pound continues.
Boy, he didn't just give it up. Mowry did a beautiful job of riding through on that, allowing him to flow underneath him. And here he goes back to it.
Triangle.
He needs to go off to the side more.
Isayev's trying to
keep going to the side. If he can get that angle, now he just drops it down. Let that squeeze just continue on.
Back in the day, we called that the answering the phone block. He might want to call 911, John, in the position he's in.
He needs to call someone because he still has 2 minutes left in this round, Morrow, and he has taken a beating from Steve Mowry.
Mowry postures up and attacking the body, now going to the face, ground and pound from Mowry, elbows mixed in as well. Isayev trying to defend the ground and pound attack, trying to survive the second round.
And we see Mowry grow as a heavyweight. He came in the first time we saw him 235, 236 pounds. He's gotten bigger, but he's maintained the fact that he has a very good gas tank.
And look at this. This adds up to what Mowry told us. You're going to see the nastiest, meanest, most violent, most complete Steve Mowry that's ever been in the cage. Those numbers back it up.
Yes, they do. Look at Isayev, undefeated PFL champion. He is just getting worked in this second round right now. He cannot get Mowry out of mount. He's not doing anything with his hips to be able to make that happen. Mowry's just riding him, grinding on him. There's a ton of weight, pressure, and he is just getting mauled right now. You got to admit, man, Isayev, no quit in him. He is hanging tough in here. He's taking a ton of shots, no quit.
A dominant second round for Steve Mowry. 93 out of 106 strikes landed for Isayev, 3 of 7.
Mowry should look maybe towards the armbar right now, swinging the armbar, maybe an Americana. A little bit too much energy spent, but that's definitely
10-8 round, John.
Easy 10-8 round. Just gonna say it. You beat me to it, baby.
Wow. Isayev looking the worse for wear after that.
And this was right here. Isayev is the one that initiated this takedown. You see him trying to get that trip, and he is unable to. As he puts his leg out there, he ends up having his foot slide out. Mowry lands right on top of him, and from that point, Mowry just put it on him. A couple of arm triangle attempts, they did not work. Isayev hanging tough, no quit in him, but boy, he took a ton of shots in this round, and he definitely lost this round 10-8.
Через ногу переводи. Ты понял? Али, ты понял? Через ногу переводи.
Barring a draw, someone is about to taste their first defeat as a professional. Steve Mowry, 10-0 with 1 no contest. Ali Isayev making his Bellator MMA debut, 9-0. So if you scored the second round 10-8, how do you have it headed into the third frame?
Well, you know, you can take a look at it. It's how you looked at the first round, and a lot of people are going to think that Isayev, because he was in the top position, won. But he got the takedown. He didn't land a whole lot of shots. Hit much more as far as landed shots by Steve Mowry. I think Isayev needs a big old knockout or a submission to get the win here right now.
Isayev back against the fence.
And you got
an underhook.
You got to think, if you're Isayev, now's the time for you to do it. You're coming off that 1 minute break. You got a little bit of gas back in the tank, but it's not going to last long.
Knees from Mowry at close range. Maybe an opportunity to do some dirty boxing. At this distance, there's an uppercut by Isayev, a knee from Mowry, and double right hand from Mowry. Level change and the takedown by the Olympic wrestler.
And Mowry should not sit here at any point. Don't sit here and take this takedown. Move, make Isayev work, because he's tired already from all the pounding of the second round.
Mowry trying somehow to maybe get that Kimura grip.
He's looking towards it.
That area, but it's
not going to be happening. So he needs to
slip. Of course, third round perspiration, much more slippier, and you're right from the positioning. But here, shrimp in the hips again. Now in the open guard. But Isayev not wanting to posture and deliver ground and pound, just wants to grind away.
Well, that's all he can do in this. He's not going to get the submission against Mowry unless Mowry gets hurt. So right now, ground and pound.
But it should be more ground and pound, I guess, is what I was saying.
It needs to be a more violent ground and pound. He needs to posture. And look, at 265 pounds, he can bring a ton of pressure and power down on Mowry, but you've got to create that posture that gives you that room to move like that.
Isayev, 4 of his 9 wins have been via knockout, including Jared Rashkov, the knockout in December 2019. And it's funny because Mowry and Rashkov have a history together way back in the day. Mowry brought down a team takedown to work with Jared Rashkov, so some connective tissue there, but that was a long time ago. 2 minutes left here in the fight, not a lot of time, but still enough for both of these fighters to really make a statement. And for Mowry again, at this stage where he's at, continues to, both of these fighters evolving as mixed martial artists. Yeah, clean left from Isayev, another one. Mowry pinned against the fence and not as active now, tasting the power of Isayev.
All that work in the second round.
It taxes the cardio.
The arms get heavy, all of it. He's feeling it right now, but he needs to work towards getting himself, use that cage to get yourself back to the feet. Look for that change of the angle and go after that submission. Bring the legs up, but create some kind of chaos that makes Isayev have to work hard right now.
And it's been since that Jared Rashkov fight back in New Year's Eve 2019 that Isagov competed, so it's been a long layoff for Isagov.
Big difference in the switch from the second round to the third round as far as now the punches that are landing more by Isagov. He's definitely in control of this round. He's definitely winning this round.
Oh, absolutely. In this round, it's now 62-14 in terms of total strikes landed. So 180-degree turn here. Under 30 seconds left in the fight.
You know, Isagov actually showing why he became the champion of the PFL, man. No quit, very tough, and just keeps on grinding. This is the way he does it. Dagestani style of wrestling.
After a dominant second round by Mowry, Isagov comes back in the third, and we go to the judges' scorecards. How do you have the fight, John?
You know, it all depends.
Are they going to go with you on that 10-8?
There's no doubt they're going to go on the 10-8 for that. The real question is, how did they go the first round? Because this fight is either going to end with a victory for Steve Mowry, or it might end as a draw. So that whole statement I said.
I remember, I said at the beginning, barring a draw, I said.
Exactly.
Yeah, barring a draw,
might be a profit.
Someone's might
not go.
But it's a interesting fight. I mean, you look at the numbers, you look at the momentum, the ebb and flow, how dominant Mowry was in that second, and then in the third, completely different story.
Absolutely, and that's what happens when you settle on the bottom in a heavyweight fight. You can't do that.
And Mowry, I mean, he expended a lot of energy in that second round. You could tell even now the reaction here in the third. They get up and they embrace two heavyweights, undefeated.
This is what happened at the end of that round. You can see this is the corner of Isagov, and he's got his corners over. They are not in agreement over something.
No, you need to sit down.
You
commission intervenes.
That's the commission inspector coming in between. She's putting herself in a dangerous location.
All right, let's make it official with Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, all three judges at cage side, Hadi Muhammad Ali, Chris Crail, and Elliot Kelly, are in agreement and score the fight exactly the same at 28-28. We have a draw.
So the O's didn't go. It is that draw we talked about. Steve Mowry and Ali Isagov go 15 minutes and settle nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
All right, more prelim action from the Kia Forum in Los Angeles after this.
Hey, Bellator Nation, follow us across a large array of digital platforms and stay up to date on everything you need to know. Like us on the Bellator Facebook page and see exclusive videos. Follow us and get instant updates on Twitter at Bellator MMA and get a chance to have your tweet live on the broadcast. See amazing pictures on Instagram at Bellator MMA. Join Bellator Nation today.
MMA history will be made with an epic rematch.
Fedor knocks out Emelianenko.
Heavyweight champ Ryan Darth Bader against the legend Fedor Emelianenko, fighting in his final bout ever.
That's the gunner.
Plus, pound-for-pound world top 10, Johnny Evans defends his title versus number 3, Anatoly Tokov. 2 title fights, 1 can't-miss special event. Bellator MMA, tonight, live on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Time for the tale of the tape for this featherweight fight between Henry Corrales and the undefeated Ahmed Mamedov.
Take a look at the age of Henry Corrales, a guy who has been in wars in this cage against a very young upstart in Ahmed Mamedov.
Here's Michael C. Williams.
Tonight here at the Bellator 290 prelims, we go 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing the blue corner at 5'8", weighing in 145.2 pounds. His professional record, undefeated, 10 victories, no defeats. Presenting Ahmed Mamedov. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner at 5'8", weighing in 145.6 pounds. As a professional, 20 victories with 6 losses. Introducing Henry Corrales. And your referee in charge, Jonathan Romero.
Henry Corrales with 4 first-round finishes. His opponent, Ahmed Mamedov, has 3 first-round stoppage wins, including in his last fight. And he submitted Kevin Bain via rear naked choke at Bellator 283 last July. First round underway in this contest between 145-pounders. Already fainting is Corrales with the jab and with a nickname. You know, when you're Corrales, you're a gunslinger. That's exactly what he is, John.
There's no doubt. Look, the Mamedov camp knows. Look, our route to victory in this, even though our guy likes to stand up and throw his hands, our route to victory is through wrestling, taking Henry Corrales down and taking him out of his game.
Front kick to the chest there by Mamedov, but already high fight IQ there by Corrales. Used the jab and then set up that low outside kick to the lead leg of Mamedov, but I love the way he set it up with the jab.
Yep. Henry Corrales is a veteran of the sport, I mean, and they don't come any tougher than Henry. Look at Henry gets his teeth taken out before the fight because he lost
hockey player.
He lost 5 of them when he fought Patricio, Pitbull, and from that, I'm sorry, it was Sanchez. And he lost him to Emmanuel Sanchez.
Oh yeah, Emmanuel Sanchez.
And he gets those teeth taken out for every fight and then put back in. Anybody that can put up with that, that is a dangerous thing.
Yeah, that was a spirited affair. He and Emmanuel Sanchez, split decision loss, or a win for Sanchez that back in 2015. So it's been a long time since he's been taking out those teeth.
And there you see Mamedov coming in for that takedown. Henry has gotten way better with his defensive wrestling, and we're going to see if he can fight his way through this. But everyone knows if you can get him off of his feet, now he's not as dangerous a fighter. He can't use that power, he can't knock you out. And so you're going to see guys going after takedowns with the veracity that you're seeing Magomed go after it.
And Mamedov gets the takedown after that tenacious drive, but equally tenacious Corrales to get back on his feet. And the waist block now employed by Mamedov, looking to take Corrales off his feet again. Mat return by Mamedov. But Corrales again back to a vertical position now.
The entwined leg, you see that left leg of Mamedov all the way through, controlling that right leg of Henry Corrales. That's a nice technique that you're seeing because that way it's hard for Henry to turn.
Midway point of the first round, Corrales slipping the way, but then the right uppercut by Mamedov, and instant level change, quick timing, right to the back. So beautifully done by Ahmed Mamedov, but unable to keep Corrales on the canvas. Corrales fighting it off.
And Henry's doing this is a moment in this fight. If Henry can fight his way through this, it just puts a little bit of doubt in Mamedov's mind about, man, I can't keep this guy down. And you start to doubt. And once doubt seeps in, then bad things start happening. So this is big for both of them. Henry's working incredibly hard to try to keep this up.
Corrales, whose hometown is La Mirada, California, nearby. Chance of Henry. Henry ringing through the Kia Forum in Los Angeles. And stop that. A takedown attempt by Mamedov as Mamedov went to change levels again, but Corrales said not this time.
And that's what happens now that Henry is training at Fight Ready in Arizona. Angel Cejudo, Henry Cejudo, he's learned a little bit of wrestling and it's showing.
Nice exchange. Nice. Right hand catches Mamedov. Corrales now with the jab, misses with the right.
Henry needs to get his back off of the cage, though. He's making it too easy for Mamedov to come in and keep him against the cage.
They clinch. Overhooked by Mamedov. Pummeling now along the fence. Oh, and right uppercut, jacking the jaw of Corrales as they created separation. Corrales going to the body with a right hook, but that uppercut found its target. 30 seconds left now in the opening round in a competitive affair here between Corrales and Mamedov. And Corrales chopping away at the lead leg of Mamedov. Checking down. Double jab at the counter by Mamedov. And again, calf kick by Corrales.
That calf kick's going to add up. You can see Mamedov in the way he's stepping with that leg. This is Corrales throwing a big right hand right off the top of the head of Mamedov. And then this was that uppercut. I didn't land quite as clean as I thought it landed, but didn't have the power on it because Henry's head was coming up from it. But a lot of energy going from both guys. Mamedov putting out a lot in trying to take Henry Corrales down. We'll see if it has an effect on him in the second round.
Mamedov built a reputation for dominating his opponents overseas. Loves to wrestle and ground and pound, but has had success with the takedown, but not able to keep Corrales down to deliver that patented ground and pound attack.
Yeah, he's gotten to that position where he's in tight on him, in deep, and he's done a fantastic job of fighting his way through all of it.
Corrales catches the kick and then counters with a right hand upstairs. Jab to the body by Corrales. Body kick, liver kick there by Mamedov. Snapping the kick.
Corrales needs to go back to that low calf kick. He was successful.
And there it is on cue.
That's going to take a lot of the power of Mamedov away, and it's going to slow down that shot in the wrestling.
Jab by Mamedov, misses with the sweeping left hook. Feinting by Corrales. Mamedov able to catch Corrales with the combo.
Beautiful combination landed there by Mamedov.
Again, Corrales chopping away at the lead leg of Mamedov, delivering those calf kicks, and Corrales caught that kick momentarily before Mamedov was able to retreat. And I like the way Corrales diversifying his attack, John, making that investment to the body. But oh, there's that uppercut again from Mamedov.
He's not leaving his head in the center line. He's got to get that head off the center line when he's throwing.
Seems like blood on the forehead of Henry Corrales. Yep. Oh, nice overhand right there lands for Mamedov, flipping Corrales.
Volume. Where's the leg?
There again, right hand, nice right countered by Corrales, but Mamedov now looking to try to take Corrales down, and Corrales again able to break away, but John Mamedov is hunting for that right uppercut.
Well, he is hunting for him, and you're seeing that, but the takedown attempts are becoming less and less as far as his ability to come close to getting him. It's starting to really slow down, and that's all due to all the work that Henry Corrales did in stopping it in the first round, that low calf kick. All these things add up as the time in the fight goes on. Mamedov still looking good. He's put a lot of pressure. He's got fast hands.
They're identical in the second round in terms of stats. 15 of 34 each in terms of total strikes landed. So identical. Jab from Mamedov.
Henry needs to continue to go to the body.
Double jab by Corrales.
Everything, Henry. Beautiful.
And the corner wants more of the body work from Henry Corrales, which would continue to slow down Mamedov's advances.
Look at the body, Henry. I'm telling you, go back to the leg. That leg is done.
You can hear the corner of Henry Corrales saying the exact same thing. Go back to the body. The body attack is starting to slow Mamedov down. Nice big swing, almost landing.
Again, right uppercut by Mamedov, but it's Corrales using his footwork. Under a minute now left in the second, but there's a counter right from Mamedov.
Henry, he's staying in the pocket. Stay low. Start finishing the body and uppercut. Exchange. He's gonna
Double jab again from Corrales. His corner wants him to stay low, go to the body. And the uppercuts, but again, Mamedov continues to deliver that right uppercut, hoping that one day it will land.
That's a good shot. He throws it very well. It's
yes,
quick,
he does.
very short.
30 seconds. 1, 2, 1, 2.
And there, Corrales going downstairs and upstairs. Right hand, left hand, exchange in the pocket. Wide right hand lands for Corrales. Mamedov backing up Corrales. Fans round behind their local favorites.
Oh, that was a nice
beautiful right hand by Corrales, punctuating his performance in round 2.
That leg is fucking gone, dude. That leg is gone. He's trying to sneak it.
Beautiful uppercut. Didn't have a ton of power, but nice combination by Mamedov. Absolutely, just sweet the way he throws it.
And I like
bringing
that
the hook
right
over. Uppercut to the hook. I think you've seen a little boxing in your life there, Moro. But nice job by Henry Corrales to come back. Kind of a pushing jab, throws the big overhand right, lands. Henry Corrales threw a lot of shots in that round, but he connected with the lot and the volume in that round. Take a look at it. I think it gave him the round.
Eddie Chan, Corrales' corner says that Mamedov's lead leg is ready to go. He wants him to continue to attack it with the calf kick.
I've watched him walk, and I've seen how he's a couple of times I've seen him take a funny step, but most of the time he still looks like he's got a lot of pressure on it, and he's able to maintain it, so he's looking good. But I agree with Eddie Chalk. Go after that leg more.
Body kick by Corrales, but it's temporarily caught, and now Mamedov with the waist lock looking to take Corrales down.
Henry needs to fight the hands. You see him using that elbow to slide inside on the hands. Mamedov trying to work real hard to stay impressed on him. A little bit harder now, especially since he's sweaty.
Corrales, Corrales goes to the body, digging away with the left hand. Nice. Low Corrales. Double jab, right hand. And Mamedov thinking for a moment, going to southpaw, but right away back to orthodox. So obviously, those calf kicks are definitely beginning to take their toll.
Yeah, that leg, there's only one reason he's switching, because he's much more effective from the orthodox stance. So the only reason he's going to switch is that leg is taking so much damage, I can't take any more. Very close fight. Both guys really showing moments where it looks like they're taking over. There's that calf kick again. Man, Mamedov is tough because that thing has been landing all night long for Henry Corrales.
Henry Corrales, according to our stats, 20 for 20 in kicks. Level change by Mamedov.
He's got it.
And a high takedown. And again, though, he gets it, but it's like a basketball. Corrales bounces right back up.
And again, people look at this and say, well, isn't that a takedown? No, it's a change of position for a moment. Mamedov has the ability to possibly make it happen, but it's not happening.
Good takedown defense by Corrales.
Henry Corrales' wrestling has improved so much because we know that Mamedov is a very good wrestler.
And you talked about why the Cejudo brothers, Henry Cejudo's gym in Scottsdale, Arizona, fight ready. Triple C. There's a inside low kick by Mamedov, more of a rangefinder, it seems, and really done with damage.
See how that take when you see Mamedov take that step and watch his leg give that little shake, that's telling you that he's having a hard time with the balance of it. He can't feel the same. He doesn't have that same sensation that tells him how much pressure is on that leg.
Under 2 minutes remaining in the fight.
Henry Corrales really needs to open up as far as going to the body, then bring those shots up to the head from that.
There's that stiff jab by Corrales. Mamedov leads with the left hook, curls it behind Corrales' guard. There's a nice 1-2 by Mamedov, but then he got countered by the right from Corrales, buckled Mamedov, and then attacked the leg again with that low calf kick.
And so you look at both of those series right there, who got the worst of it? When you look at it, Mauro, you got to say Mamedov probably got the worst of it.
Again, Corrales leads with the jab, double jab, keeping Mamedov at the end of his punches right now with just over a minute left in the fight.
This is as good as Henry Corrales has looked in a long time, because we know how good Mamedov is. We know what kind of fighter he is, undefeated, and man, Henry Corrales is putting on an outstanding fight right now against him.
Very patient, composed, listening to his corner. Breaking down Mamedov, beginning again with the attack to the foundation, the lead leg with those cavalcade of calf kicks as just over 30 seconds now remain in this featherweight fight. Mamedov now becoming a little desperate, looking for the takedown.
Also becoming a southpaw fighter there.
Again, yep. A beautiful double jab from the body right to the head by Corrales. And
see how it's just taking away the balance. This is what it, just the repetitions of that shot.
Left hand landed for Corrales. Solid scrap here between Corrales and Mamedov, and Henry Corrales with a terrific performance here tonight. Will he be the first to hand Mamedov a loss? How do you see it, John?
I tell you right now, I see Henry Corrales getting a win in this one. I had it 29-28. Henry Corrales put on a beautiful performance. You take a look at those last two rounds, more volume, more strikes landed, more effective.
Amazing, amazing. Second, third, maybe even the first, to be honest with you. Every time you touch that body, no sense going backwards.
wanted it a little bit more.
Oh, dude, that's all hard as the fifth. On the third, all hard.
You see in the replay here, this is that knockdown. Beautiful shot, but it's the clash of heads right there that kind of puts Mamedov in that position where his leg hits the ground. But Corrales, that calf kick throughout the fight, first, second, third round, was just money, and it took away the balance of Mamedov throughout the end of this fight. This was what doing work and damage throughout a fight will do. It will get you that win. I think that Henry Corrales deserves that win.
All right, let's make it official. Find out. The decision here is Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go now to your three judges at cage side. All three, Jonathan Merigliano, Wade Vieira, Felicia O, all see it exactly the same at 29-28. All for the winner by unanimous decision, Henry
Henry Corrales becomes the first person to defeat Ahmed Mamedov. Corrales has now won 3 straight as we go back to the fight desk and Amanda Guerra.
Moro, thank you. What a great night it's been so far. We're just about 45 minutes away from our main card. And Josh, it was 4 years ago in this building that Ryan Bader knocked out Fedor in just 35 seconds. Now, before he retired, which of course Fedor is doing tonight, this is a fight he wanted back. But let's start with Ryan Bader. He cannot expect this to be the same fight as it was 4 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely not. You should expect to see Fedor come out with a little extra oomph tonight, knowing that it's his last fight. Also, just trying to get it back. Now, there's not much we can take away, though, from that fight. 35 seconds is not a long time. Now, I know we spend 8 weeks training for fighters when we get in there and step in there in the cage, but 35 seconds is not enough time for either fighter to really walk away from that. But when you look at Ryan Bader, he went from heavyweight, then to 205, to fight Nemkov, then came back up to defend his heavyweight title against Moldavsky. And I feel like he is a way better fighter in the heavyweight division, and look for him to continue this winning strategy against Fedor tonight.
He is a better fighter in the heavyweight division. Fedor is the greatest heavyweight of all time. We're going to talk about that tonight. But look, he is 46 years old. He's still fast. He's okay off his back. He's pretty good off his back. How does he try to change what happened the first time around against Bader?
At this stage in your career, you're not trying to change anything.
Trying to make it through. Let's get through tonight.
Be honest. But what he has is knockout power, and you can see right there, he's got it going backwards. What he does very well, and he's always done this well, is he steps offline as you approach and step in, and he lands the big shots and puts you to sleep. Against Chael Sonnen, he actually just bombarded Chael with big striking, and he understood that Chael wasn't a fighter that really liked to get hit. But against Quinton Jackson, this was something he just stepped right in, landed the shot right on the top of the forehead, which is normally not the sweet spot. But when he fought Tim Johnson, he found the sweet spot. And that sweet spot was right on the chin, and he hit it with a great 3-punch combination, slipped off the offline, and landed his shots. I'm telling you, since the Ryan Bader first fight, he seems like he is getting a little bit better and understanding his distance a little bit more, and he's getting back into the groove of the winning streak.
Look at how fast Fedor was in that. Okay. At the end of this, he's so serious all the time. You posted a rare picture of a smile from Fedor. Do we see Fedor smile at least once tonight?
I posted a picture of a Seneca white deer, and that's like a very rare deer that you can see. I said, look, the next slide over is a very rare photo of Fedor smiling. But I expect to see him smiling tonight because he's relieved, I think, that this is all coming to a close.
What a special night we have ahead of us. Moro, back down to you.
All right, thank you very much. It's going to be Lorenz Larkin and Mohamed Burkhonov running it back after their first meeting ended in no contest after Larkin threw an illegal elbow. Let's go to the tail of the tape.
Look, the real thing here is Larkin is an unbelievable fighter at 24-7 with a lot more experience than the 14-0 Burkhonov. But this is a rematch that needed to happen, and it's going to be special.
Let's go to Michael C. Williams.
Tonight here at Bellator 290, the prelims now feature a rematch at welterweight, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing first the blue corner, at 6 foot, weighing in 171 pounds even. The undefeated professional enters with 14 wins, no losses, presenting Mohamed Burkhonov. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner, at 5 foot 11, weighing in 171 pounds. The former Bellator title challenger, brings 24 victories, 7 defeats. Introducing Lorenz, the Monster Larkin. And your referee in charge, Rafael Davis.
All right, you're ready. Here we go. First round, fight.
Well, and round one between Larkin, who's been doing some of the best work of his career, was on a big winning streak by 6-0 with 1 no contest in his last 7, with again the NC against his opponent here tonight. And Burkhonov, of course, he's still undefeated at 14-0 with 1 no contest.
Well, like Lorenz Larkin in that first fight, if you were looking at who was the guy that was actually doing the better work, it was Lorenz Larkin. He was starting to get into a comfort zone. There was what they called an illegal strike. The end of the fight happens. But I'm glad they put it back together, because Burkhonov has a lot to prove in this fight. And Lorenz Larkin is not an easy person to fight. First off, he's very difficult to take down, and his speed and the accuracy of his shots is amazing.
They're exchanging hard calf kicks, and there's a overhand left by Burkhonov, closing the distance, and nice short right from the southpaw Larkin. A minute gone here in the opening round.
You know, it's funny, I first started watching Lorenz Larkin when he was a light heavyweight. Then he went to middleweight, and now at welterweight. Normally, if you go down in weight, the speed advantage goes away. It still is there for Lorenz Larkin. He's that fast.
Oh, what a right hand by Burkhonov.
That was a clubbing forearm, you're right.
Right by Larkin, mamma mia! One hitter, quitter!
Oh my God! Unbelievable elbow strike by Lorenz Larkin. That just lit. Burkhonov just took him out.
Now that's how you close the show. The monsoon just blew away Mohamed Burkhonov.
That was a clubbing right hand by Burkhonov. And here comes Larkin. Watch this elbow strike. He sets it up. Boom! Right on the temple. He's out. Stanky leg going down. Huge shot.
Early candidate for knockout of the year, John. That's how you get it done.
My God, that was unbelievable. Lorenz Larkin, his striking is scary.
Burkhonov out cold, going down to defeat for the first time. And Lorenz Larkin lighting up Mohamed Burkhonov. And he just recorded his 13th knockout win. Now 25-7 with 2 no contests, but more than half victories now inside the distance thanks to striking. Wow. This was no contest of a different variety.
Well, I'll tell you, look, Burkhonov was doing the right thing. He was putting pressure on him.
He landed a great shot.
Trying to close that. He did land that clubbing right hand. But man, did Lorenz Larkin set that up beautifully. Throws that elbow. That was all planned, all technique, beautifully done.
Let's go to Michael C. Williams.
Inside the Bellator cage, the elbow ends it suddenly. 1 minute 41 seconds into round number 1 for the knockout, the Monsoon,
Lorenz Larkin with a highlight reel KO. Let's go back to the fight desk.
Moro, what a knockout there. Josh, I got to give it up to you. Right before this fight started, you said Lorenz Larkin had a chance to do exactly what he did. Your reaction to that knockout?
I've seen him in the gym. I've seen his fights over the years. Everything he does, nothing surprises me. He just comes, he can bring it out at any moment, any time. Now, tonight, that was just spectacular because the timing, the way he set it up, he gave a little bit of a bump and then stepped away, and beautiful elbow right out of that clinch right here. Bink, right across the temple. Nicely done. Burkhonov just took a step backwards, legs went out, face down.
And as Big John said, that stanky leg going down. I love that we are ending on that note because that is setting up perfectly for what we can expect on our main card tonight on CBS. Let's take a look at the fight card as we are getting closer. Of course, headlining the event, Fedor retiring in a rematch with Naaman Gracie. But kicking off our fight, you can expect more of what you just saw in the cage there between Sabah Homasi and Brennan Ward. Talk to us about that fight because it's kicking everything off, and we are so excited about that fight, Josh.
Yeah, I'm excited because you want to know why? They're excited. They know that they're being brought on to CBS for the first time, and they're going to be the first fight to represent Bellator on CBS. And they understand what's at stake. They're out here to put on a show, and they both love to do that. When two fighters love fighting, this is what you're going to get.
That is kicking off the night. Of course, we have middleweight world championship between Johnny Eblen. He has taken this division by storm. He beat Gegard Mousasi in his last fight, stunned the world 12-0. Anatoly Tokov, his mentor, his coach, Fedor Emelianenko. And of course, that is the reason we are all here, because Fedor retiring tonight after more than 20 years in the cage. Josh, really quickly, talk to us about Fedor, Ryan Bader, and mainly Fedor, because this is such a huge chapter coming to a close tonight.
Yeah, for the sport, for other fighters, that's why there's going to be legends upon legends coming tonight just to watch him fight. Fighters that he had fought, fighters that he didn't fight, they just admired him, looked up to him. He is kind of that last leg of a legacy and of an era that helped build this sport. And to see him go is going to be a very sad thing tonight.
We're going to pause right now because we've had fireworks here. We're going to get ready for our show on CBS. We'll see you there at 6 Pacific. That is it. I'm working on these time zones, 9 Eastern there. But we do want to mention we have more bonus coverage after the show is done. Make sure to go to Bellator YouTube. Follow Bellator YouTube for more bonus coverage, more fights, including Naaman Gracie stepping into the cage after the show on CBS. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
MMA history will be made with an epic rematch.
Here's our welterweights to kick it off. If you have to see those two guys fight, here's my advice. If you're in the concourse, make sure you're back on time in your seat. These two are destined to stand and trade. Even though good wrestlers, they will stand and trade, no doubt about it. Right Ward, Sabah Homasi will kick us off, top of the hour, to lead us on the live broadcast.
For the last 3 years, Ryan Bader and Fedor Emelianenko have been on an inevitable journey back to one another. Two of the most distinguished heavyweights to ever grace MMA. The embodiment of conflicting generations of fighting will converge for one final showdown. Win, lose, or draw, this will be the last stand of the last emperor, as Fedor looks to bow out from his beloved sport as the heavyweight champion of the world.
Any fight with Fedor is a big fight, and if it's his retirement fight, even bigger.
Can Fedor round off his illustrious career with one final feather in his cap, or will Ryan Bader once again prove that even legends can be conquered? This is Bellator 290, Crossroads, Bader versus Fedor 2. In early 2017, Bellator MMA president Scott Coker would make one of the biggest free agent signings in the promotion's history, securing the signature of the man considered by many to be the greatest heavyweight fighter of all time, Fedor Emelianenko. Fedor would then make his Bellator debut at a location fit for an emperor, the iconic Madison Square Garden in New York City. Despite fervent expectations, it was far from a dream start for Fedor. Losing to Matt Mitrione after both Fedor and Mitrione dropped each other simultaneously in a shocking moment.
Oh, they both double knockdown. Fedor Emelianenko's hurt, and just like Dan Henderson did to Fedor, it's over. Mamma mia, what a
Our kingdom falls. Our kingdom falls.
The MSG event will be remembered for more than just the debut of Fedor, as the occasion also marked the first time we saw Ryan Bader enter the Bellator cage. The Arizona native would defeat Mr. Wonderful Phil Davis by split decision to claim the light heavyweight championship, his first major world title.
Ryan Bader is the new Bellator champion.
Following that event, Scott Coker would announce the $1 million Heavyweight World Grand Prix. The history-making tournament would pit heavyweight contenders Bader and Fedor on the opposite sides of the bracket, placing great expectations on an eventual showdown. The former Pride heavyweight champion would kickstart his Grand Prix campaign by knocking out Frank Mir in just 48 seconds in the quarterfinals, then blasting through Chael Sonnen inside of one round to earn his spot in the final. On the opposite side of the bracket, light heavyweight champion Ryan Bader was equally as impressive. Darth Bader would unleash the force to dispatch King Mo Muhammad Lawal in just 15 seconds. He would then go on to defeat Matt Mitrione by unanimous decision, setting up a final of epic proportions against Fedor. Clashing at the Forum in Inglewood, California, that night served as a monumental reminder to Bader of his own greatness. Not only did he overcome the GOAT, but in doing so became the first fighter in history to become a simultaneous two-weight champion at heavyweight and light heavyweight. In the years following their showdown, both fighters have traveled down very different paths. A member of Team Fedor, Vadim Nemkov, would be the one to end Bader's run as light heavyweight champion, finishing Bader with a flurry of punches and setting up the finish with a beautifully executed head kick. In a bid to reclaim that title, Bader would enter the World Grand Prix for a second time. Despite a strong showing against Lyoto Machida in the quarterfinals, the former NCAA Division I wrestler would suffer a TKO defeat to Corey Anderson in the Final Four. Since that defeat, Bader has returned his focus to the heavyweight division in a bid to become the longest reigning champion in Bellator history.
You know, you're not just a champion because you show up for one night and win that belt. You know, that is a life's work. I know against any opponent, any night, I can go out there and win.
Fedor, on the other hand, was far less active than his heavyweight counterpart. After defeating Quentin Rampage Jackson at the legendary Saitama Super Arena in Japan on December 30th of 2019, Fedor would not appear inside the Bellator cage again until October of 2021. But on his return, the legend of Fedor would grow to even greater heights headlining Bellator MMA's first ever event live in Moscow, Russia, the GOAT sent his homecoming crowd into a frenzy, knocking out Tim Johnson with a walk-off right hand.
Monster shots by Fedor, and the GOAT comes home and reigns supreme.
Ryan Bader bid the light heavyweight division farewell and focused his sights on a new rival and an old foe. Valentin Moldavsky, another Team Fedor protege, had captured the interim heavyweight title. Bader put his undisputed title on the line against the younger Sambo stylist and showed Moldavsky there was still a fire burning inside this champion's heart, taking a hard-fought unanimous decision victory while retaining his title. A little over 3 months later, Bader was back in the Bellator cage, dispatching his longtime rival Czech Congo in Paris, France. After 2 successful defenses of his heavyweight title, Bader has now turned his attention towards a huge rematch with heavyweight legend Fedor.
I know he wants to get that back and rematch, and I'm open to it too.
With the rematch set to take place 4 years after their first clash, the fabulous Forum in Inglewood, California serves as a fitting location for such a historic rematch, as Bellator MMA makes its primetime debut live on CBS. Not only that, but during the official announcement of the heavyweight world title rematch, 46-year-old Fedor confirmed that win or lose, this will be the last time he steps foot inside the cage. With the last stand of the last emperor looming, Ryan Bader must do what no man in history has been able to achieve: beat the greatest of all time, Fedor Emelianenko, twice. But with Bader just 107 days behind Patricio Pitbull's record as the longest reigning champion in Bellator history, Bader must put the legacy of Fedor Emelianenko to bed to prove, once and for all, that he is the gold standard of heavyweight MMA. On Saturday, February 4th at the Kia Forum in Inglewood, California, 2 generations of greatness collide in a main event which will forever change the landscape of Bellator MMA. Don't miss Bellator 290 live on CBS in an unmissable night of MMA. Some say the chase is better than the catch. For middleweight Johnny Eblen, after 3 long years working his way up the Bellator ranks, he finally achieved the ultimate goal. Overlooked and underappreciated, Eblen proved the doubters wrong with one of the most definitive championship-winning performances ever seen.
I want everybody to know I'm the next thing, bro. It's a new era. New era.
But now he must face a man whose journey to the top was halted through circumstance. Out of the shadows emerges a new challenger in Anatoly Tokov, a fighter who many say would already be the champion had he not been forced onto the sidelines. Will Eblen pass his first test as champion with flying colors, or will Tokov claim what he believes is rightfully his?
Я 2 года не дрался, и я считаю, это мое возвращение. Дальше буду только идти в гору.
This is Bellator 290 Crossroads, Eblen versus Tokov. Johnny Eblen first began his journey in competitive sports during high school, where the Iowa-born youngster worked diligently to become a state wrestling champion. This early success for Eblen would encourage him to pursue opportunities in wrestling, eventually leading him to the University of Missouri, where he became an NC2A qualifier and a 2-time academic All-MAC team member. Despite being one of the most promising athletes on his university's wrestling team, Eblen's time at college was blighted by constant injuries, including a fractured fibula in his freshman year. Eblen graduated from Missouri in 2015 and would subsequently decide to relocate to Florida. Here is where Eblen's life changed forever after meeting former Olympic wrestler Steve Moko, who invited the young upstart to train at the renowned American Top Team. Learning alongside some of the most experienced names in MMA, Eblen's early days at American Top Team revitalized his love for competitive sport. Eblen would split his training between Florida and Missouri, where he also trained at the highly regarded Glory MMA. After picking up 4 awe-inspiring first-round finishes on the regional circuit, a fresh-faced Johnny Eblen would earn his debut on the Bellator stage in early 2019. Eblen's tutelage under the likes of Moko and Bellator veteran King Mo was clear from the get-go. With their guidance, the former NCAA Division I wrestler had transformed his remarkable wrestling base into a major asset inside the cage, using his wrestle-heavy style to completely dominate Chauncey Foxworth in his inaugural performance. After such a skillful debut, it became immediately clear that Eblen had all the makings of a future world champion.
Still undefeated, Johnny Eblen.
On that very same night, 29-fight veteran Anatoly Tokov would compete inside the Bellator cage for the 4th time, submitting the ultra-tough Gerald Harris with a second-round guillotine choke. Tokov was a major prospect in the middleweight division, with his rise up the ranks bolstered by coach and mentor Fedor Emelianenko. Under the guidance of one of the greatest names in MMA history, Tokov would instantly flourish, picking up 7 stoppages in his first 2 years of competition. The Fedor team fighter amassed a 24-2 record during this time competing in Russia, and with such a formidable record, it came as no surprise when Scott Coker and Bellator MMA came calling in early 2017. After 2 outstanding stoppage wins against Francisco France and Vladimir Filipovic, Tokov would come up against former world champion Alexander Shlemenko. In what was expected to be the Russian fighter's toughest challenge yet, Tokov established exactly why he was regarded as one of the biggest prospects in MMA, dominating Shlemenko to win by unanimous decision.
Anatoly Tokov.
Both Tokov and Eblen would once again compete during the same event in October of 2019 as their rise up the middleweight ranks continued in parallel. Eblen would once again demonstrate his ever-improving technique, defeating Mauricio Alonso by unanimous decision. For Tokov, however, despite an emphatic TKO stoppage over Hracho Darpinian, his momentum as a top contender would be derailed due to a forced 2-year hiatus. Whilst the Russian brawler looked on from the sidelines, the accelerated ascent of Eblen proceeded with near unstoppable velocity. Eblen would win his next 4 fights with almost definitive ease, which included spectacular stoppages over Daniel Madrid and Colin Hookbody. Thanks to his now newly established fistic ferocity, Eblen would earn the moniker of the human cheat code, further exemplifying his unwavering status as a top title contender. It was confirmed that with one more victory, the ATT fighter would earn a shot at middleweight world champion Gegard Mousasi, but standing in his way was one of the grittiest fighters in the 185-pound division, John Salter. Salter may have been the more experienced fighter against Eblen, but that certainly didn't dampen the spirits of the human cheat code. If anything, it spurred him on for one of the greatest performances of his career. Eblen's approach to the fight could be described as near perfect, as he fought his way to a unanimous decision victory, and with it, a chance at world title glory.
People look good knocking out unknown names, and then you have to knock out big names.
Leading into his middleweight championship opportunity, many of the critics had written off Eblen's chances against the highly regarded Mousasi. Mousasi, a Grand Slam champion in his own right, had just beaten 4 of the top middleweight fighters in the world, and more often than not, made it look easy. It's because of this that he entered the fight with overwhelming confidence, which perhaps would hasten his downfall.
I know Gegard was asked who I was, and he had no idea. Trust me, he knows who I am now.
Eblen, on the other hand, motivated by Mousasi's disregard, was totally focused on proving the naysayers wrong and claiming his rightful place at the top of the middleweight division. Lighting a fire under Eblen, many anticipated he would give the fight his all, but the way it played out, no one could have expected. In what can only be described as a true coming-of-age moment, Eblen disrupted Mousasi from the first bell, using his far superior wrestling and massively improved striking for one of the most dominant championship performances in Bellator history. After 5 rounds of total and utter domination, the judges awarded a sweeping victory for Eblen with 3 50-45 shutout scores, ushering in a brand new era for the middleweight division. For a man who has constantly been overlooked throughout his career, Eblen now enters unfamiliar territory as expectations of his success grow rapidly.
It is a golden night for Johnny Eblen, now 12-0, and the new Bellator middleweight champion.
After spending 2 years on the sidelines, watching others prosper in his absence, Tokov finally receives his rightful opportunity. And in case of any doubt, the Russian fighter has already proven that he is yet to lose a step. Since his return in October of 2021, Tokov has secured back-to-back victories over highly regarded opponents, beating Sharaf Davlamuradov in his return bout and then quickly finishing Muhammad Abdullah in the very first round. On Saturday, February 4th in Inglewood, California, 2 of the 185-pound division's top grapplers will collide. Under the bright lights of the Kia Forum, we will find out whether Johnny Eblen is truly one of the best middleweights of his era. But to do so, he must defeat a resolute Anatoly Tokov, a man who has never tasted defeat in the Bellator cage, a hungry fighter who many consider the champion in waiting before his lengthy absence. Only one can leave Bellator 290 as world champion. To become a world champion embodies years of hard work, pain, and sacrifice. It is an honor which very few get the opportunity to experience, reserved for the very best in our sport. To reach the pinnacle of our sport is a great challenge, but to remain there is even greater. This year in Bellator MMA, 6 new world champions were crowned, whilst 4 champions successfully defended their crowns, adding another notch to their growing legacy. As we enter the new year, we look back at the major moments of 2022 and the journeys our champions have taken on their road to glory. This is Bellator Champions 2022, a year in review. After a difficult end to 2021, heavyweight champion Ryan Bader was on a mission to prove he was still at the top of his game. The former NCAA Division I wrestler would kick off the year with a title unification bout against interim heavyweight champion Valentin Moldavsky. There were high expectations for Moldavsky to usher in a new era for the heavyweight division. Bader, though, had other plans. At Bellator 273, Bader would show exactly why he is one of the most feared wrestlers in all of Bellator when he completely disarmed Moldavsky in a 5-round clinic en route to a unanimous decision victory.
And still, the undisputed Bellator heavyweight world champion, Ryan.
Bader would then get the opportunity to put an end to his long-standing rivalry with Czech Congo in the Frenchman's backyard of Paris, France. Back in 2019, the pair's first encounter would end in a no contest after an alleged eye poke from Bader, something which the champ vehemently denied.
The fight was not going well for him, and that happened, and that is a perfect time to take a way out.
But there would be no controversy in the City of Lights, as Bader once again utilized his wrestling prowess to cruise to unanimous decision victory, becoming the first heavyweight champion to successfully defend their title for a second time. After a remarkable 2021 where Vadim Nemkov scored decisive wins over Phil Davis and Julius Anglickas the Fedor team fighter prepared to meet Corey Anderson in the finals of the light heavyweight World Grand Prix. An accidental clash of heads in the third round caused a bad cut over Nemkov's left eye. A wound which referee Frank Trigg deemed too severe to allow the fight to continue.
No contest? No contest. He retains the belt. The tournament is not done. The tournament has to be played up. That's how it works.
Despite the odds swinging in overtime's favor for the rematch, the former Combat Sambo champion would show exactly why he was considered the best light heavyweight on the planet at the time. Nemkov would utilize his Sambo background, stuffing all 15 takedown attempts from the challenger and ultimately dominating the fight to claim the unanimous decision win, the World Grand Prix light heavyweight title, and a check for a cool $1 million. It has been a hugely successful 12 months for Johnny Eblen, following his breakout year in 2021. His run of 6 consecutive Bellator wins earned the human cheat code a #1 contender eliminator fight with top-ranked middleweight John Salter in early March. The fight would be a complete shutout for Eblen, who executed his wrestling perfectly to win the fight 30-27 on all 3 of the judges' scorecards. What is it that you want?
Hey man, Mousasi said he didn't know who the was. I'm right here, dog. I'm ready to take your old I'm a young Let's get up in here and let's make that fight happen.
Eblen and champ Gegard Mousasi would eventually clash in June. And despite being a major underdog, 31-year-old Johnny Eblen would pull off one of the biggest upsets of the year, completely dismantling Mousasi with 5 rounds of relentless wrestling, stellar stand-up. All 3 judges would deem that Eblen's performance was worthy of a 50-45 shutout, ushering in a new era for the middleweight division with the human cheat code sitting on top. As the new year of Bellator MMA approaches, we continue our look back at the biggest championship stories of 2022. This is Bellator Champions 2022, a year in review. For the first portion of the year, the fate of the welterweight championship faced massive uncertainty, with undefeated champion Yaroslav Amosov out of action while defending his country of Ukraine. With the time frame of Amosov's return unknown, Bellator president Scott Coker made the decision to introduce an interim championship, which would be competed for by top contenders Logan Storley and Michael Venom Page. The title fight would take place in MVP's backyard at the OVO Wembley Arena. But despite the hostile atmosphere, the Storm managed to weather an early onslaught from MVP, completing 8 of his 16 takedown attempts to keep Venom at bay and win the interim title by split decision. Now, on February 25th in Dublin, Ireland, Logan Storley not only gets a chance of winning the undisputed welterweight title, but a chance of avenging the only loss on his record, a split decision loss to the undefeated Yaroslav Amosov. 2022 ushered in the era of the new Eagles, with Khabib Nurmagomedov fully embracing his role of head coach, taking the mantle from his late father, Abdulmanap. With Khabib at the helm, several of his fighters saw major breakthroughs across the globe, including cousin Usman Nurmagomedov. After winning 3 straight in 2021, Usman carried his impeccable form into 2022, effortlessly dispatching of opponent Chris Gonzalez in under 3 minutes.
That was taken down by Nurmagomedov. Beautiful trip. He's locking up a front choke on him.
And there it is! Mamma mia! Usman Nurmagomedov getting it done!
A masterful front choke from Usman saw him climb to 15-0 and earn himself a lightweight world title fight against Patricky Pitbull. The fight saw a clash of two generations. Patricky had been competing at the highest level in the Bellator cage for over a decade, and finally won the elusive world title in the late 2021.
7 years in the Bellator cage, and he has brought the Pitbull brothers back to the top of the mountain.
In spite of this experience, it would be the man 12 years his junior who would secure the win. A masterfully executed game plan from the Nurmagomedov camp saw Usman outstrike, outwrestle, and simply outfight Pitbull over 5 rounds to claim the unanimous decision and become the youngest fighter in Bellator history to win the lightweight championship. The GOAT of Bellator MMA, Patricio Pitbull, rebounded from a frustrating 2021 to show the world why, once again, he is so revered. After his defeat to AJ McKee in the $1 million Bellator Featherweight World Grand Prix Finals, Pitbull returned to Pitbull Brothers headquarters with one goal in mind: reclaim what he felt was rightfully his. Pitbull and McGee would meet in the promotion's biggest ever rematch at Bellator 277. This time, Pitbull used his kicks to keep the mercenary at bay, tagging McKee with a big right hand in the 3rd round before clutching a very tight guillotine attempt.
Both of them need to heed the words of the wartime plan. Protect your neck as Pitbull looking for the guillotine choke.
It is trouble. You can see it's tight.
All 3 judges would rule the fight in the favor of Pitbull, putting him back on top of the featherweight mountain. The 35-year-old would fight once more before the year's end, clashing with the highly touted Adam Boric. Despite high expectations for the kid, the ultra-confident Pitbull would exhibit his superior experience and strength to systematically defeat Boric over 25 minutes and retain his title once again. In the final installment of our Bellator Champions retrospective, we look back at the ups and downs of the men's bantamweight division, as well as the women's featherweight and flyweight